Hello, you are very welcome to another episode of the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys podcast. We're back again with another super exciting episode. As usual, I'm Sam, and today I'm joined by
D.
Tara?
Beth.
And Verena.
Hey everyone, you're right.
Hello. All right.
Yes.
Good.
We are very
Good.
all right.
Always all
Good. Well, I'm
right.
pleased to hear that. I'm always hoping you're all right. So that's good news. Girls, we are also joined by a special guest today. I'm very pleased to welcome fellow NSYNC fan from across the pond, Diane. Hi, Diane. Welcome.
Hi, Dee.
Hi.
How are you going? Are you all right?
I'm all right, thank you.
You have to get
Good.
used to when you join a British podcast of saying hello.
All
and
right.
Kind of,
You're all
You
right.
that's right. And the answer is always, yeah, I'm right. You're right.
Yeah.
The answer, it doesn't matter if you're not all right. We don't want to know.
No.
You say, yes, I'm all right.
No.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. You're right. Yeah.
You're right, you're right.
And it goes back and forth quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's like these embarrassing situations. Yeah.
Your leg could be hanging off or anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I quite like the you're right, like the slightly drawn out version as well. That's a really fun one.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
right.
right. You're right. Well, I'm glad we're all okay because, to be honest with you, I don't really think we are okay.
No.
Let's be honest. This podcast episode, I said it was super exciting, and it is super exciting. It's not just exciting. We have got Diane on today because we are going to be talking about Justin's one night only in LA that she went to with our very own Verena. But we've also got loads of other exciting stuff to talk about in today's show. We're going to start off with the news as usual. And then we're going to get in to talk about the show and, well, just that small matter
What
of
happened?
well, I think there was a brand new NSYNC song or something like that.
No.
I don't know. Was there?
Remember?
We
Okay,
would have
like,
noticed.
Yeah.
probably. Okay, maybe there wasn't. Maybe when we talk about it, we'll jog our memories to see if that did
Yeah.
happen or maybe it was a dream or not. So yeah, today's show, bit of a hot mess. We're going to be jumping from topic to topic, but we'll make a start. So bear with us as we go through this because I just can't contain my excitement. So anyhow, should we start off with the news?
Yes,
That
please.
is not by talking about Chris and Pop 2000. He
Yes.
performed his show in Port St. Lucie, which is in Florida.
Oh.
And Diane, you were actually there, right?
I was, absolutely was. It was amazing.
How was it?
It was absolutely amazing. It was like nostalgia all rolled into one with all the different pop acts that were present in the early 2000s, and it was just so much fun. It really was.
Do
Who
you
was
like all
there?
the acts that were on?
I did. I mean, my boy band, time frame, my biggest thing was always NSYNC, and that was my main, focus period. But I did like the acts that were there, and all of them were excellent performers.
Yeah.
Really great.
That's what I'm
Really
hoping
great.
for. I mean, I'm going for Chris, obviously, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I hear that from everyone that O Town were really,
love
really, really
O-Town.
good. Yeah.
They
They
were
did, and they did
fantastic.
they did a lot of medleys that weren't. A couple of the artists did actually, that weren't their own original songs, but again, it was tying into that nostalgia of what was popular in the 90s and 2000s, and it just was. I mean, the way the seating was, it was at an outside amphitheater, so we were in like a pit where we all just stood together, and then there was some seats behind, but everybody was just there celebrating, having a good time. It was, except for being hot, it really was amazing.
How much was Chris on stage on this show, in the show?
So Chris was on not a ton, but at the end he comes out and does the NSYNC stuff with O Town. But he came out, introduced everybody. He was actually late. He got stuck at an airport, I heard.
Oh, bless him.
And he got there like 15 minutes before the show started. So it was a close call, definitely.
Is
So
that why
he
they did
introduced
the VIP meet and greet? Should have been before,
Exactly.
but you had to do it after.
VIP thing, I think, was supposed to be at 5:30, if I remember correctly. Usually they do the photos, oh sorry, they do the meet and greet first. Yes, and then the photos after the concert. The quick, like I'm gonna take a picture with you, no autographs type of thing. And there were like two different packages. But so what happened was at the end of the show, because of that, at the end of the show they moved they did the photos first and then did the meet and greet VIP thing afterwards, so that I guess you could have more time with him and so on. And it was really nice because I'd say there was probably about 25 people for the photos and like 8 people for the VIP.
Oh, that's
So it
really
was very
nice, yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. There was no like formal seating or anything like that. We sat on like a little stoop, but it was really enjoyable. It really was.
Oh, that's amazing.
What songs did he perform? Did
Oh
he
goodness.
do the usual medley?
I'm being quizzed. Well, but I know Bye 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 was in there. That's for sure. I want to say they also did It's Gonna Be Me. I almost feel like Pop was in there,
Wow.
but I
Oh,
think,
cool.
but it wasn't the full songs. Again, it was kind of a medley of some of those things. Again, tied in with O Town, and yeah, everybody sort of blended well together when they were on the stage for that. And that was, like I said, at the end of the concert. That was kind of how it all transpired. That ended on a high note.
What
nice.
questions did you ask him at the end?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Well, so when we all came out, to start it off, what they did is we were supposed to do fun and games. That's supposed to be the new thing that was added to the Pop 2K. This is my first Pop 2K show. And we were supposed to play Pictionary. So Carrie was out there setting up an easel and everything, and then it flew over with the wind, and it was just all, but it was up there. So he came over to each of us and he shook our hands, and it was very sweet. And honestly, I felt like I was just talking to a friend the entire time. I think everybody else felt that way. It didn't have that sort of celebrity feeling or anything. It was just natural. And he asked everybody, he's like, do you guys have any questions? Because I think all of us it was 10:30 at night, and all of us were exhausted. And so he asked if anybody had any questions, and there was a little silence. And so I asked him, was the pair of dice on the NSYNC store intentional for Paradise? Popped in my head randomly, not even what I was going to ask, but and he's like, what? What are you talking about? So I got up out of where I was seated, and I showed it on my phone. I went up and I showed it to him, and he was like, and Carrie was over there. Yeah, it was a merch drop, like trying to tell him, where to know this from. And then he proceeded after that to draw it for Pictionary. He was like, I'm gonna draw the dice right here. And so and he spent quite a bit of time trying to remember. Again, you're working with the 2D surface, trying to get the 3D right and decide how many pips and where they went. And he's like, each side, the two opposite sides are supposed to add up to 7, right? Yeah, and he's like, but you can't see it, so I'd have to make it transparent. Like it was just the whole thing. He wanted to get it right.
We get it. We get it.
And I told him, I was like, it was the letters, not numbers, right? But like it was really funny just how everybody sort of played off each other, and clearly it stuck with him because we're seeing the dice everywhere now.
Yeah.
But he said, he was like, after he drew his artwork, he's like, that's really funny, and he wanted a picture of it, and then he told Carrie, he's like, are you going to send it to them? And I'm assuming that he meant the group chat, and that's how it all kind of happened.
Paradise.
It was. I
You see-
still think that he may not have known about it, but I think someone somewhere in the creative team had to have connected this, because
yeah.
how many years have we been in the fandom and we have never gotten car dice before as merch? It has to be
Yeah, it's
that or
really
it's
strange.
Kismet.
Yeah.
It is the other thing though that we thought though is that you have the, like you say, the car dice, but then Justin in his album has the air freshener in the vinyl,
Yeah, you're right.
which you
You're
also
right.
put in your car. And so we were kind of, I guess, debating whether or not this was something to do with going on the road and then going on tour, and obviously the NSYNC connection with that. So we've kind of decided that that's kind
That's
of the
happening.
route that they're going down, and it's all related to
We jumped on
early-
that train
Oh.
and off we went. Choo choo.
Yes.
So I mean, that sounds amazing, and I think Verena, you're off to see Pop 2000
In a couple of weeks.
in a
time,
couple
yeah.
of weeks. Where is it you're
Yeah.
going to? Where's that
Phoenix.
one?
I'm going
Oh,
to Phoenix.
that's it. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
That's in Arizona.
Well
It
done.
is!
Yay.
Yes!
Good job.
US geography.
Googled it.
What, just now?
I think that's going to be so fantastic. I can't wait to hear all the
I
stories that
cannot
you're going to
wait.
come back
I
with.
really can't wait to go there.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget, you've promised to buy merch for us from the Day Ones stand because the shipping is really high to get it to the UK. So we
know.
have to put our
I want
orders
some
in.
Chris socks.
The Chris socks.
I want some Chris socks.
Did you buy any merch, Dee?
You bought it's greetings
Aw.
greetings from Boy Band Paradise, and I also
Oh,
got
man.
I had to get it. I just had to.
Of course.
It's just like the Trolls card. I had
Oh
to.
my gosh.
And I got the Kirkpatrick shirt with the marionette, the sort of skeletal thing holding the
Oh, yeah.
marionette thing.
That's a bit
Really cool
scary.
shirt. It is a little bit. I was kind of worried my kids would be scared of it, but they were fine. Like, I don't care. I'm still having it. I'm wearing it. It's okay.
Right. So the next bit of news after Chris is Joey and AJ. So they have just launched their Legendary Nights tour. That looks like good fun, doesn't it? Did you see the online videos from like the sound check and the performances?
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are taking the tops off in this show, aren't they? Have you seen?
Yeah.
Are they?
What's taking their tops
Oh well,
off? I haven't
AJ.
seen
I've
that.
seen
Yeah,
AJ
there's a
take
guy in
top
the
off.
audience as well, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Why?
I only saw
I
AJ
don't
with the shirt
know.
off.
the proper grown man.
It was like someone 2 or 3 rows back. I was the picture. He had his shirt off. I don't know why. I have no context. I just assumed he
Yeah.
was just like that.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they must have enjoyed it. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks fantastic, doesn't
Must
it?
have been hot.
Yeah, let's say that's what it was. It looks amazing, doesn't it? I think the
Yeah.
kind of collaboration between the two of them, the types of songs they're singing, both in
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys, but other
And
stuff as
the
well.
The audience participation as well, I think.
Yeah.
Just getting
Yeah.
everybody involved. So no matter where you sat, whatever your seats are, I think everybody's included.
They need to bring it over here. It looks so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
would totally
They
go.
have a
And
really-
by the way, Pop 2000 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
you'll
have a
to-
really good energy together, definitely.
I would be annoyed if they bring Pop 2000 over here now because I'm spending so much money to get over there.
Yeah.
Sorry, it has to come. It's not just coming just because of you. You don't have to come to it. You can sit at home and we'll go to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see me. I'd be at home going, nah, I've already seen this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, not gonna happen. I'd be
And-
there.
Exactly, as if you wouldn't turn up. We've got to have another Space Cowboys meet up at some point with all of us.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
that would be the next thing.
Mhm.
Lance also appeared at AJ and Joey's
He
show the other
did.
night.
Yeah.
That must have been a really cool surprise for everyone who was there. And he sounded fantastic. Did you hear his song? where he
Oh
Yeah,
my
he
God,
sounded
yes.
amazing.
Really
mean,
good.
yeah,
It's
His
nice to hear
voice
his
is
voice, isn't it?
beautiful.
It is.
Could listen to that all day, couldn't you? It's like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Me too. I think I'm really kind of quite looking forward to the fact that this tour for AJ and Joey is going to be going on for a while, and they seem to be very hot on their social media with posting
Mhm.
updates and stuff like that. So I'm hoping.
If they went to Germany, because it looks like they're going to go to Germany, would any of us go?
yeah. So if
Okay.
he did come over to Germany, I'd definitely go.
Yeah, But yeah, I would like to
That's
know
right.
that they're only going to Germany, that they're not going to
Yeah.
come to the UK.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise I
I
wouldn't be
completely
traveling over there
understand
for that. It would be annoying to. I mean, to be honest, to go to Germany is not that expensive. You can get flights really, really cheap across, you know. Or we can get
Yeah.
into our Space Cowboys mobile and just drive over there.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, we did say we
That
were
would
going to
be
get a
awesome.
car, didn't we?
We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. We need some of
It's
them
like the
dice.
old,
We need
yeah.
to order some
Yeah.
dice.
And the air fresheners.
Can't go without the dice and the air freshener in the car.
And the 5 boys in the back.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we could brand it with their faces on it. That would be brilliant. If they come over, honestly, I know Justin is, but if they come over and do a UK tour or an appearance, we'll have to.
Oh,
we'll
we
get to that.
just follow
We
the whole
definitely
bus.
have.
The whole.
Yeah,
We
we would
just
definitely
have to
have
take.
Space Cowboys mobile.
Oh,
Yeah,
would be
You
we'd
know,
have
amazing.
no
sure.
kids for that week.
No.
We'd have to
No.
abandon everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No
Just
responsibilities.
follow them.
Exactly.
And there's Tara sitting there. No, I'm not going to
Yeah, she's-
abandon my kids.
No, I can't leave my babies. 1 and 3, so they're very little.
They won't know.
I'll bring them with us.
Don't worry. By the time NSYNC get over here, they'll be grown up. It's all
They'll
right.
be like,
They're my age, kids.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But let's keep an eye on it. I think they seem to be teasing at least Germany, don't they? So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
the UK. Let's in
Mhm.
London, I presume, if it is the UK. So let's keep an eye on that and
Mhm.
see what's going on. Okay, right. That then leads us up to actually the biggest topic, which we're going to be discussing today, which is Justin's and his show. Because everyone's
Mhm.
doing shows at the moment.
Mhm.
And he has just done his, what we presume is final, must be, One Night Only, although it was actually called The Everything I Thought It Was show
It was
in
yes.
LA. Yeah, it wasn't, I don't know if it was a One Night Only or not, but it was in LA, regardless of what it was called. And Diane and Verena, you were super lucky to go. So I know that the girls and I want to kind of find out a bit more about what your experience was like. We obviously got the Paradise drop in the middle of all of this going on, so we'll talk about that as we get to it as well, from both your insight and also ours back here at home as well. So I guess if I kickstart us off on this, I kind of want to know, I guess, start at the very beginning. Very good place to start. Should I sing that?
Yes.
Let's start at the very beginning. No, let's not do that. Cut that out.
I'm going to leave that in.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We're a very casual show.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, these things have to make it the final edit. So I hope everyone appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show obviously was the usual ballot system of kind of applying for tickets, not knowing whether you were going to get any. Obviously, Verena, you travelled over from the UK, and Diane, you travelled over from
Orlando.
Orlando.
Yes. Yes.
In Florida.
Yes.
In case anyone didn't realize. It's like we've learned something every day. It's a school day. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, why you decided to go. It's a stupid question, I know, but why you decided to go, presumably without tickets. Let's just hear the beginning of your journey, please.
Diane, do you want to go first?
Sure thing. Why not? Well, I did not have tickets. I absolutely did not. I was hoping for it. I think we had a theory that it was mostly local people that were getting in, and I'm not local to each of the individual shows. But I had a very sneaking suspicion that all 5 would be there, and that was the tip over point for me. So the moment I found out, and I'm so glad I didn't, because we thought it was going to be like on album release day, possibly the One Night Only. That's what we were kind of theorizing, because we were looking over the clues in his deluxe package, the vinyl that had Memphis to LA and beyond, and all these different things. And I just had a really positive feeling that all 5 were going to be there. I mean, most of them are there already because they live out there, and it just made sense, especially when they had the song together and everything. When there was a chance that it was all 5, I booked my flight as soon as the dates were announced, or the date was announced, and I had to risk it. I had to. The last time I went out to California was for the star ceremony, and it was for the same reason of the 5 of them. I, at that time, and believe where we are now, I didn't know if I'd be able to see them together again. So
Yeah.
I had to go there and see them and and enjoy it. And either way, you know, I had friends that I had made that were also going to be there.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a win-win. I knew I had people that I knew and could hang out with, and we'd have fun. And if we didn't get in, we'd find something else to do, just like everything that happened with London, how you guys had an amazing time. Unfortunately, not the show then, but you know,
We
I
made
knew
the
that it
most
would
of
be
it.
just
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, exactly. So I made that decision right then. It was about 5-6 hour plane ride out there. I had a bit of a shock. Being in Orlando, I was waiting at my gate, and all of a sudden I see, like 10 minutes before boarding, I see someone looks just like Joe Mulvey, and I'm like, I took a picture as best as I could, and I asked the girls, I'm like, I think that's Mulvey. Can you guys confirm? And it was, and I tried to meet up with him, but I didn't want to be a bother, and it was a long flight. I didn't get to meet up with him, but it was another thing in my head with him being there. That was like, okay, I know he has the Joey AJ show, you know, a few more days later, but he was there at the right time for it to be not just a coincidence for me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
It just felt all positive. And before I left Chris at the Pop PK VIP, I said, I'll be going out to LA next week. I hope to see you there. And he gave me a hug, and he's like, is there a show, or what, you know, he was just screwing around with me, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I see you.
Mhm.
But I mean, that was my big journey over there. And then I did some other things. So I left here at 6 in the morning, and I got there around noon. It was a big trip, but it
Was
was
that on the same day
I
of the
felt so
show that you
confident.
got there?
No,
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 no, I was there the day before. The day
Info.
before.
Mm.
Because I didn't want to be rushing around if I could avoid it. Because I was also envisioning potentially being out there late or waiting in line early, and I had a hotel like right diagonal from catty corner from
Which
the
was
Wilderness.
very appreciated.
It worked out. It worked
To use
out.
in your room.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it was kind of it was the same thing pretty much. I had obviously we missed out on the London one, so you know that was such a bummer. And you know, we had tickets for it. I knew I was going to see him, so I don't know. It was a spur of the moment thing. Again, I just like had the idea that all of them are going to be there, and I thought if they are going to be there, I can't miss it. I have to be there. There was absolutely no way that I cannot be there. And I thought if they're not going to be there, I'm going to try and see Justin. And I thought if I don't see Justin, I'm going to, you know, I really love LA. So, you know, I thought if I take a trip to LA, I'm going to have a lot of fun, you know, and I knew there was going to be a lot of people that I knew as well. But I had Marissa from Mission and Sync. I knew she was going as well. So our plan was just, you know, see what happens and you know, just try our best. So I can't remember when I booked my flight, but I think it was also like I think it was the week before or you know,
Don't
5
think it
days
was-
before or
yeah, it was only
something
a few
like that.
days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually only a few days. But yeah, that's a 12-hour flight. So it was delayed as well, so I got to LA really, really late that night. And pretty much fell into bed. But yes, that was you know just really just that belief that all 5 guys are going to be there is what made me think I have to do this. So.
Yeah, and I think there seem to be a lot of people who maybe thought that, given that the queue started to form the night before, albeit relatively slowly, I think, by the time you arrived the next morning. So I think, what time did you guys turn up to join that queue, and you know, how many people were there? What was the atmosphere like?
In the morning, so after my flight, I fell to bed. I think I got to bed about 1 o'clock that morning. And I knew Marissa and me were going to meet up. I was picking her up from her hotel, so my alarm was at 3 o'clock. We knew from the day before that people had lined up. And we knew, we were watching it throughout because I was, while I was on the plane, I had Wi-Fi, so we were talking the whole time. And we kind of watching it. And first it was just a couple of people with chairs. And then it got more and more. And, from what we were hearing from other people that went past it, that said it was up to 15 people there. So first of all, Marissa and me were thinking, because in New York, they only let 6 people in. So we were thinking, oh, if it's going to be the same again, and we thought it's going to be really, really hard in LA because there's going to be so many industry people, maybe even more than in New York. So we were thinking that's probably our chance gone already if there's 15 people waiting outside. If we're after 15, it's like you can already just imagine you're not going to get in. But we said we're still going to get there really, really early in the morning. We're still going to get into that queue because in the end, you just don't know. So yeah, I got up at 3. We met up. I picked her up at her hotel about 4:15. She was at a hotel just a couple of minutes down the road. So we walked there, and the queue was still the same amount of people to the night before, so it had not grown overnight. So yeah, we got there 4:30, and then Diane and Hillary, you joined like literally 5 minutes after us, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes. And that was the worry because I was there that night, the previous night rather, and it was about 13 people there, and I'm like, oh gosh, I really need to sleep in a bed.
Yeah, same.
But I was like worried I'm gonna wake up, even though I was planning on getting there early. I was gonna wake up and there'd be a long queue. But thankfully,
it hadn't grown
that
at
worked
all.
out.
And we were also aware, I don't know, did we find out that day or did we find out the night before that Johnny had been there the night before?
I think it was late the night before. Someone said,
yeah,
what do you say, 9 tickets or something?
6 tickets.
6 tickets.
Yeah, so there were 13 people actually there, and he had said to them he had 6 tickets, for sure. So the first 6 people were pretty, at the same time, I mean, he never said it would be that first 6 people. He just said, I've got 6 tickets. So he could pick anyone out of the queue or give it to the first 6 in line. You just don't know how exactly he's going to play it. And he said he might be able to get some more, but at that point, that's all he said, 6. So this is when we were saying, really, we don't even stand a chance to get in. But yeah, like I said, the queue had not grown overnight. So so we started lining up like between 4:30 and 4:45. I think we were all there.
Yeah,
it seemed like you all had good fun though in that queue, right? Like you were there for such a long time. But I mean, like several people went live. Verena, you went live, and you we spoke to you when you were in that queue, and it seemed to be like really.
It was such a good atmosphere, and
guys.
it's really, when you're standing there, I knew quite a few people in front of us already, like Jen and Joy were there from Be and Sing, and there's quite a few faces already there that we already knew. But it seemed like every next person that turned up, it's like, oh, it's you, and oh, it's you, and it's like the next person. It's like you just knew everyone. But the queue did not really grow until the afternoon. I think by midday,
like 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, not after us. I think it was the 2 girls. Well, Laurie came. Laurie had won the ticket. She'd won the ticket for Memphis, and through the TN Kids, and then she won another ticket for LA. So she was there, and she was just getting in line, even though she had a ticket. But we were all together in the same line, and we thought they're going to separate us when they have to. And she brought her friend, obviously, her +1, so they were just behind us. But that was pretty much it, wasn't it? Until the afternoon at about 3 o'clock. And we were like, where is everybody? Why are people not coming?
And had you already been given some tickets by that time?
No. I don't know. It wasn't even 3 o'clock. I think it was earlier, because by 3 o'clock they started giving us a ticket. So at that point, the queue was 100. Yeah, it must have been. I'd say midday or so. You just lose track of time when you're sitting there the whole time.
We've not slept for 2 days.
As long as we were.
Yeah.
That too, yeah. I mean, I think we stayed in the mid-20s for most of the time.
Yeah.
Because we all started doing it was the fans that started doing a numbering system.
Yeah.
And with a Sharpie on the hand, to kind of get a feel as to where people were. So that was my only semblance of numbers of how many people there were.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised. Again, the star ceremony, they were there overnight. They
Oh
were
God,
there.
yes.
I was
That went
expecting it to
that
be
line was around
crazy.
6 blocks in
Yeah.
LA. It was so many people. But yeah, we just had fun. I mean, lots of stuff happened throughout the day. You know, the guy came out and started putting the letters up on the top of the
That was
theater.
exciting.
It was so exciting. And then of course we were all surprised when it didn't say one night only, but when it said everything I thought it was. That's all it said, everything I thought it was. And then he got the posters out and stuck them all behind the glass and was struggling with it a little bit. And, you know, it was exciting to see all these, you know, everybody was like, oh my God, I want these pictures, you know, because they were like really amazing
Yeah.
posters.
Don't show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I think we made our fun, you know, it was just so nice to meet all these people where you just know you don't sometimes you just know their name. I mean, like, you know, Diane and me, we didn't know each other before, but we knew each other's names, you know, and it's like
Yeah.
like we knew each other's handles
Yeah, you should have a
even
little
before
sticker. Should have
names.
little
Yeah.
badges on, shouldn't we?
Hello,
I
my
know.
name is.
Mine is
Yeah.
Buffalo.
And Hillary, I knew her handle, so it's like, oh, I'm Hilly Mob, but it's like, oh my God, yeah, I see you all the time, you know. So it's like it was really nice to put all these faces to names. And of course quite a lot of girls from Mission were there. I know quite a lot of them, you know. It was really nice to meet Adriana because, you know, we she was in our podcast before,
last one,
Adriana and Marissa, so it was really nice to meet everyone. And Adriana, of course, she looked so great in her Justin outfit. She was just so
Oh,
cute.
she looks
I love your
amazing.
pictures.
Look good.
Yeah, it was so much fun. But yeah, we were just vibing, were we, all day long? It was just a
Were
lot
you
of
singing
fun.
songs? Were you like singing on the streets and
We
stuff
were
like
not
that?
singing, were we?
I was surprised about that. I thought they would have had that.
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing that we had with music during that whole thing is it wasn't that long after the letters were being put up, I think, or maybe it was a little bit before.
What, the
when
Drop of Paradise? Yeah.
Yes, when the snippet of
Yeah.
Paradise came out. I know, like I think Adriana was live at the time, and I'm standing next to her while the sign's being put up, and I see the chat go off that
Yeah,
the
all the
snippet was
live
released.
just
I'm like,
went
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so I'm
everybody
like
just went.
trying to, I've got to borrow Hillary's headphones to really hear it, and I was like everybody, like it was sort of like a moment of silence and excitement. It was energetic. It was like there was tears. There was definitely tears.
Oh yeah.
That was the most like emotional experience of that, and the biggest like music thing in all of that.
Yeah.
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think a large portion of people that were there at that time had been people that had been there since early, so I think we're also kind of tired too. I think if we do another event, when we do another event, you know, like this, where all the fandom comes together and we're all in one spot, maybe bring a speaker next time and have some music playing.
Good idea.
True, yeah. Yeah, I just noticed everybody's faces change. Everybody had their phone because, of course, we were standing there. It was quite a lot of traffic, so it was really not quite noisy. So everybody had their phones to their heads, like to their ears, to be able to listen to it properly. And you just saw the emotion in people's faces. It just, you know, people were crying, but it was also like a lot of like, you know, this kind of gasping kind of stuff. You know, yeah.
The whole thing was like surreal.
Yes, and I said before, I thought if Justin is gonna, I didn't think he would drop Paradise as a snippet, but I thought if he does, probably just going to be like the instrumental intro. I just didn't think he would hit us with any vocals, least of all with JC's vocals. I thought he's, you know, it's going to be just maybe his own vocals or something, and he's going to keep JC's vocals like, you know, as a surprise. Yeah, but he didn't. I mean, he had like it was the biggest snippet of all of the snippets that he got, right?
Yeah, the full minute.
It just never stopped.
Yeah.
So I actually went inside, you know, the bank, whatever that was, their building, our rescue building there. I went inside that thing. Oh my God, that's a story as well, isn't it?
That's the fight scene.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah, we made friends with, what was his name? But yeah, I went inside that thing just so I could hear better, because out in the street it was really loud because of the, you know, the trucks going past and stuff like that.
Yeah, you did have to hear it properly. I mean, let's cut the story, I guess, over to the UK for a second, because whilst you guys were hearing it out there live in the queue, we were obviously hearing it over here at the same time. And over here, it was just about 6 o'clock in the evening, I think, or just before
Yeah.
6 when it came out. And again, our live chat went off to say, "Oh my goodness, it's up." The
It was
snippet's
no,
out.
it was 11 minutes past 6.
11 minutes past 6. Oh, thank you. That's very specific.
Yeah, because it dropped at 11:11.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
it did.
yeah,
And that was on the
you're
receipt.
right.
Yes.
Oh, the
Yeah.
clues. I know. They were right there in front of us and we didn't even figure it out.
Well, you wouldn't, would you?
Well,
I mean,
no, but
who
we
would
should have
look at
known
those
better.
numbers and say, "Oh, that's when Paradise is going to
We
drop"?
should have done.
know.
We should know by now.
Should know these
There's something
things.
hidden everywhere. Girls, how was that in the UK to, I guess, hear that? What were your reactions when it came through?
I don't know. I don't even think I listened to it first time. I put it on, but it didn't register. And then I think I was watching somebody's live at the time, and all of a sudden it was just like, everybody turn your phones off, listen to it. And then I think I listened to it about 4 or 5 times, and then it was just like, well, I couldn't speak. I was just like, couldn't believe it. Like hearing all the voices. The first one I could hear Chris. I can hear him quite clear in that in the first bit that he sang, and I was just like, loved it.
I just listened to it once, because I didn't want to listen to it at all, but I had to listen to it, because it was there. But I made a point of not listening to it because I thought I'm going to listen to it tonight when they're going to perform it on stage. I was prepared for that.
Yeah. I listened to it several times because I actually got off to a bit of a full start, because what had happened was we had gone live with Verena from the Q and the Space Cowboys accounts, and I was the one on the Space Cowboys account. And after the live had finished, I needed to share the video to our page. But I had to go and collect my husband from the station. So I thought, oh, I'll leave it for 10 minutes and I'll share it when I get back. I'll just leave it open. I'm in the car and my Apple Watch starts pinging and all the messages start coming up. I'm at traffic lights. So I look at it and I can see everyone going, oh my God, crying faces and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the song's out. I'm driving in the car. And I'm driving in the car. I got to the station. There's like a road that leads down to the station where I usually pick him up from, and I literally just flew into the first space there was. I wasn't going down near the front where he was. He was gonna have to walk up the road to me. I just had to stop the car. And I had to bloom post the video because obviously I couldn't use my Instagram to hear the snippet because it was on the video share, and I couldn't come out of it, otherwise we'd have lost it. And I'm trying to type the caption, and I genuinely think I tried it 10 times until I could spell it correctly because I was shaking and I was rushing. And by this point, my husband had come and got in the car, and I'm saying to him, "Oh my God, I gotta post this video, and I can't get on the thing, and I think this song's come out."
He's like, "Nice to see you, love."
Yeah. And then I played it, and obviously he sat in the car next to me then, and I played it out loud on my phone, and I must have played it a good 5 or 6 times. Then the tears came as I then had to drive home, and I literally was driving back home crying.
Oh,
I can't believe it.
And your hubby's looking at you going, what are you doing?
Oh, come on, all our husbands are used to us by now the last couple of months. It was not a surprise, but yeah, I just couldn't believe it that one, I was in the car and then I couldn't listen to it because I had this bloody video to post. I couldn't believe it. Never mind, those are stories. Beth and Tara, how about you?
I didn't even remember what I was doing at the time, but I just remember like it was so like a nice thing to hear new vocals from JC. Like it's been such a long time, hasn't it? And I just thought it's like, I don't know, it takes you back. It's a nice feeling. It was like a nice little magical thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so special.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Beth?
God, I panicked. I panicked when I first saw it pop up. And then once I actually clicked on it, and then you just weren't expecting it to be JC as soon as the clip started.
No, yeah.
As soon as it started, like my heart just stopped for a second. And then I just started crying. I had to listen to it probably about 10 times before I could actually get through it to actually listen to it all. But God, it's just emotional.
Yeah.
And what we'd been waiting for so long, like you say, and just finally hear
Yeah,
it.
because I think after the Trolls one, the Trolls was really good, but it wasn't this good. It was just like
it wasn't them.
No,
you know what I mean? Like it
they've
was.
sang that. They've sang that for a film,
for a
haven't
kids'
they?
film.
Yeah. But this is proper in
Classic.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I don't want to discredit it.
No, like
No,
I
no.
love Better Place.
because Paradise is very, very in sync, but I
Yeah.
think, I mean, the thing is, it's been 25 years. What do we know about what in sync is now? You know,
Yeah.
they want to
Yeah,
be.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you know, when they came up with Better Place, it's like, okay, this is who they are now. What do we know? You know, and I love the song so much. Just the memories of hearing it for the first time, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
hearing JC's vocals. That was you know, we've got that JC reaction video, you know, how well, it's not actually, we didn't make it, but I cut it together because so many people put their reactions online of, you know, when they first hear JC's voice, and I put that reaction video together, and you can see everybody is like, oh my God, you know, the song is amazing. And then JC comes in and everybody's like, oh, you know,
Yeah,
he's
Mm.
actually
Yeah.
like, he's on it, he's actually singing, you know, there's actually
It's-
sound coming out from him, you know.
yeah, he's amazing. I don't think he realizes how much we love him and how much we've missed his vocals.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know, I hope he saw that video and seen everyone's reactions, and will continue to, because what a moment to hear them all together, that 5-part harmony, but to hear his as well was just out of this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, everybody, you know, we're all NSYNC fans, and, you know, everybody's got their own favorite, but I think generally when, you know, people, when they hear JC, it kind of takes everybody a little bit,
Yeah.
like, you know, you don't have to be a JC person to realize, you know,
I think it
the impact that it
solidifies
has.
and like makes
Yeah.
it sink in. This is really a 5 of them song.
Yeah.
You know, this is
Yeah.
really going to be
Yeah.
all of them and the whole experience. I think that's when it just hits you and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is a new
Yeah, and I
NSYNC song.
think, you know, with the other guys, they all have their voices, you know, that are unmistakable and beautiful and good to hear in the
Yeah.
you know, in the harmonies. But when it becomes the duet between JC and Justin, that's when it's in sync, you know, when you have
Yeah.
both of them, you know, because JC, I mean, Justin could easily just have all of them sing backing vocals for him, or, you know, like that, do the harmonies. You know, then it would be just Justin featuring NSYNC if they were just all singing in the background. What makes it an NSYNC song and not a Justin featuring NSYNC is the fact that JC has lead vocals, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise it
Yeah.
would just be them featuring.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so much more than that.
I think Better Place was just like an exciting, we're happy to hear NSYNC. It was hype. It was just so great to hear. But then when you had Paradise, it was like a hug or home. Like you just felt comforted
Yes,
and
very much.
appreciated, and you appreciate them. It felt like everything.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
we thought it was. Everything we wanted it to
Yeah.
be. Everything we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
We'll obviously come and talk about the live performance where we got to hear the track in its full duration when we get into the show. But I guess let's go back to our story. And you guys are outside in the queue. You've heard the snippet of Paradise. I guess at some point you managed to get some tickets to get inside. So what happened there?
Oh, what a disaster.
No.
Absolute mayhem, honestly. People are ridiculous, honestly. People can't behave, but I understand where that comes from. But, you know, knowing from the shows before, I think, you know, in Memphis, everybody was seated, or everybody was in before Johnny came out and gave tickets away, because they needed to see how much space they have, you know, for people that don't turn up. And I believe that was the same case in New York. People were there, and, you know, once everybody was there and they knew who wasn't going to turn up, they knew how many spare tickets they have to give out to the people outside. This is how they knew in New York they only had those 6 tickets, because everybody turned up. Little different here. Johnny came out between 3 and 4, and we knew that obviously because he went live, that he's coming out with the tickets. And I don't know if it was Marissa or if it was Hillary or if it was you, Di. We were all together in the crowd anyway. It was like, Johnny's coming out, and everybody is screaming, and the line was
and swarming.
Yeah, swarming to the front,
gosh.
because suddenly it was a matter of, the numbers didn't matter. I mean, of course they did, but it was like everybody wanted to sell themselves why they should be the ones with tickets.
Yeah.
Because in New York, he obviously let the Mission girls in. They were front of the queue, but they also let a couple of other girls in because it was their birthday. and they were not front of the
Oh.
queue. So they shouted, and they were sharing the birthday with Justin, and that's why they got in. So we knew from that as well that, you can actually sell a point, if you have a selling point, why you should be in there. So there were girls wearing t-shirts, that they've come all the way from, there was one girl who came from Alaska, and, one girl came from DC, and, they were like, we've
And
come
one
from
girl came from the UK.
Yes. There was one girl
With
who
a
came from
t-shirt
the
on.
UK. But everybody was kind of making a point why they should be in there, and I'm sure like Adriana with her Justin outfit, it's like, everybody was kind of thinking, I'm trying to give myself a better chance to get in here, not just standing in line, but actually trying to make it, get noticed. So that's why everybody was swarming forward when he came out and with his tickets. And what did he have? Did he have 13?
13, yeah. He said, I
Yeah.
think he said there was 13 from the
Yeah.
night before.
Yes, and
Exactly.
Marissa was 14 and I was 15. So when he said I've got 13 tickets, we both just looked at each other. It's like, okay, well, that's us.
It's like Graham Norton all over again.
I know. Very much, honestly. And it's like, oh my God, that's forget it then. But also, didn't one girl jump the line? She jumped the line and put a number on her hand.
Yeah.
did.
So,
Oh.
Johnny
She
was
was
dealing with like two number 12s or something like that, and it got
I think it
really
was
confusing.
14.
Yeah,
I
and
think it was 14.
he got really angry at that.
Yeah, and there was a security guy from the Wilton that was like, I saw them writing on it. I made sure to let Johnny know, because it just wasn't right. I mean, we
Yeah.
had been through all sorts of fun stuff since we'd been there at 4:30.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
it's
think
like,
before we noticed that people were like trying to get into the line in front of us, not moving back, not,
mhm.
there was quite a bit of that going on. And, we did notice it, and we thought when it comes to it, we're going to make a point of saying it. But then at the same time, who knows whether they care or not? The numbering system was our system. It wasn't done
Exactly.
by the theater or by Johnny or whatever. We just decided to create this number system. We didn't know whether they're actually going to care or not in what
I'm
order
so
we
glad
were there.
that it was
I'm so
done.
glad they
I'm
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
as soon as Johnny had handed out these tickets, straight away he said, "I've got more tickets."
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like, oh, I actually found a few more. And
in my
it's like,
pocket,
well, yeah, right.
Um,
I think it was like 29 of them, was it?
Yes.
Something like
Think
that was
so.
a total.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there was so much relief. So
Yes.
much.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
And
getting
of course-
emotional just thinking
I
about it.
know.
Like my eyes are
Aw.
watering.
I know. Just to think that that's it, and let me try and get my story straight.
Yeah.
Um,
You gave us a heart attack.
yes. So it was, he gave Marissa her ticket, and just as it was my turn, because I was number 15, I got a text message so that there was a ticket inside for me. So I stepped back from my ticket from Johnny's as well. If there's one inside, I'm not going to take this because that can go to somebody else, the next person in line, or, the last person after these 29 people. So I stepped away from it. And yeah, I was told Carrie was holding a ticket for me. And yeah, so I stepped out of the line, and then everybody, the tickets were handed out. And then he was like organizing the line, saying like, okay, everybody who doesn't have a ticket is going to have to go to the other side of the road, just so you're not clogging up the pavement. And if I manage to get more tickets, I will come out and give you those tickets, but you're gonna have to behave. You're gonna stand over there. It was, we were like little kids. Everybody was like little kids
Yeah.
again, but this is how it goes. So everybody had to move to the other side of the road, because the line where we were standing was actually for ticket holders. So, the people who had won their tickets, or for any kind of guests or whatever. And then the people who had tickets, which included Diane, of course, and Marissa and everybody, they were led around the back of the building because everybody had been given pit tickets. Well, I don't know if it was everyone, because there was quite a lot of us later that were up in the mezzanine and, in different parts. But I mean, you had pit, and Marissa, I don't know how far the pit tickets went. Yes. But yeah, everybody had to go around the side of the building to a different, like, it was like near the backstage door, right? Because we were led downstairs to the bottom. But obviously I did not have my ticket. So I was like, I'm not going to leave here because I don't know how I'm going to get my ticket that Carrie is holding for me. So I stopped Johnny and I said, Johnny, look, I've got this message here. And apparently Carrie's holding a ticket for me. And he goes, yeah, you just best wait out here. And then he went inside. And I'm like, okay. And I'm standing there, and it's like, I saw Dre and I saw Todd and I saw all these people. It's like, should I ask any of them, or am I going to be annoying if I keep asking about it? Because Johnny did say to wait. And so I just left it. And then I saw our dearest darling Andrew. Andrew
Aw.
Hypes, our boy Andrew. He came out and he took some pictures. He was with a girl and they took some pictures of him outside the venue. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna say hi to him anyway. So I went up to him and I said hi, introduced myself, and he was like, "Oh, finally meeting you." He was super, super, super sweet, very, very, very friendly. You know, I had a big hug and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we had a quick chat and talking about some things that were discussed before, like online. And then I said to him, look, when you go back inside, can you, if you find Carrie, could you please ask her? And I showed him the message again. I said, apparently Carrie is holding a ticket for me. And he goes, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do that. I said, he said, everybody's really busy inside, but yeah, I'll go and find her and I'll let her know. But then he walked down the road and he joined the queue of all the fans that were waiting there, because everybody wanted to meet him. Everybody wanted to take pictures. So it's like, he stood there for ages. People were taking pictures and whatever, talking about all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to meet him. He was really living it up. It was really cute. So yeah, he did not go inside. And then of course you, Diane, you rescued me.
I saw her standing because there was where the metal detectors were and a barricade, and I saw her standing over there, and we kind of tried to sort of stick with our number order, artificial number order on our hands, and I knew that I had girls there that would kept my spot and whatever. I just saw her over there, and I stayed over there. When she told me what happened, I'm like, she's so stressed out. I have to stay there. I have to be with her, and because I knew that it was going to work out, but it's just you can't see everything that's going on inside the building.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be, that friend to be there during that because it was heart-wrenching even for me because I'm like, and all of us were like so happy. Most of the station had people got in, and like everybody was so happy for each other. I think throughout that they were able to get tickets and celebrating and everything. So I was like, okay, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna have positive thoughts. We're gonna manifest this. We're gonna make this happen.
Yeah, we had a little manifestation circle going on there.
we did.
And you had all those lot messaging and going, why did you just take that ticket?
Yeah, so there was a lot of back and forth, of course. So I messaged Carrie and I said, you've got this ticket, and how are you going to bring it out to me? And she said to me, oh, didn't you take it off Johnny? And I'm like, oh my God, no, I didn't. I didn't, because the message that Carrie has got one for me, I didn't think it would come outside with Johnny. So that's why I didn't take the one of Johnny. And so I said, no, I didn't take it. I thought you have it, I mean, I should have just taken one of Johnny and then I would have had a spare one or something like that, but to give to somebody else. But you just don't think that way. I was just trying to do the right thing and, not take a second ticket. And then she says, oh, okay, perfect. And I'm like, well, that doesn't, I said,
it was
so
the
I
waiting
messaged
game.
back and forth. And I was
Really
like, I'm waiting out here. I'm standing at the back. And, and then she was like, every response took so long, and I know why. Obviously they were crazy. It must have been insane inside what's going on there, but when you're standing outside and waiting, it felt like an eternity, every message. And then she said, I'm trying to figure out how to get the ticket to you because I don't want to come out and give you a ticket, and then everybody, it's going to be mayhem if they see me give you a ticket. So I had to message back, and it says, look, I'm standing where everybody else already has a ticket, so it's going to, you can bring it out. And then I said to her, you can give it to Andrew, because Andrew has, Andrew had gone back in by then, and she said, give it to Andrew, because I was just talking to Andrew. And then she said, oh, I'm just going to leave it at the box office. She said, give me your surname and I'll just put your name down and just show them some ID. And then I was like, I don't have any ID with me. And I just realized I don't have any ID with me. So in the UK, ID is not compulsory to carry. I left my passport in my hotel. And I don't have a driving license, so all I had with me is my credit card, which I think is valid ID in the UK, right? To just, if you gonna get carded or something, you just show your credit card with your name on it, on your whatever. So I said to her, I can't do it. I said, and then Marissa was with me, and she said, "Oh, just put it in my name, and I can go and collect it for you." So I said that to Carrie. I said, "Can you put it in Marissa's name?" And she goes, and then Carrie said, and again, between every message, there was like 10, 15, 20 minutes or something like that in
Oh
between.
my gosh.
And then she says, "Oh, I'm just going to bring it out. I'll bring it out, but I will tell you when I will bring it out." And I was like, "Oh my God, this could be whenever, you know."
And it was inching closer and closer to the show. I think it was like
Yeah.
an hour before the show that she said that or something like
Yes.
that.
Yes, and that, you know, they set up the tables, you know, for people to start, you know, having their bags checked and everything. And it's like the guy came out with the wristbands, didn't he, with the with the for the bar.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
I got everything here.
You got your wristband there as well.
Yeah, I've got the green one for drinking, which I didn't do because I wanted to experience it all. And then I
Yes.
have the one that we got for being in the pit
Yeah.
as well.
That was another annoying thing, those flipping wristbands. But yes, so you know, when the guy came out with the wristbands, I didn't realize obviously that they were for the drinks only. So I was like, oh shit, they're handing out these wristbands now, and I'm, you know, and I'm standing over here and I'm not getting my wristband because I don't have a ticket and I'm gonna lose a spot in line and all that kind of stuff. But then she came out. Oh my God, I've never been so happy
Yay.
to see her.
There was so much
Yeah.
relief.
Yeah,
really
but
was.
she I saw her from far. She came up with Andrew, didn't she? And they came up
Yeah.
and Andrew was high-fiving me. He was like,
Yeah.
"Yay, you got your tickets!" And
And then
yeah,
Well, we had
and
some
then
of
I
the girls
dragged
who wanted to
Verena.
go to sleep, didn't they?
Yeah.
We were some of us were staying up, some were having a little sleep.
Mhm.
But I think it was Maggie. She was like, "I can't go to sleep until we know you've got that ticket." It
Yeah.
was like, "Just tell us."
yeah.
And then I think she went off for a quick kip.
And yeah, Carrie said to me, "What's wrong with you? Why don't you carry ID with you? You know, who doesn't carry ID?" And I'm like, "Well, you know,
We don't.
you have to." But yeah, she said it was all good. She handed me my ticket, and I was really happy. I had the pit ticket as well. So yeah, you just dragged me back into the line, didn't you? But I
Yep.
remember when we walked
I
back to the line, everybody was cheering because obviously everybody knew that
It was,
you know,
yeah.
that was a issue with the ticket. So everybody was like, "Yay, she's got a ticket!" So I was like, it was
And
really,
that
really
was
good.
like the amazing positive thing about it. Like I said, is every single person. There was no, except for the people that tried to cut the line in the beginning or
Mhm.
when all of that happened, when Johnny came out with tickets. Everybody was genuinely happy for each other.
Yeah.
This wasn't like the teen days where people would give side eyes and, you know, like,
Not
oh,
at all.
that.
Not at all.
No, it was like the fandom was so happy to experience this together. It was
Yeah.
so
Yes.
positive.
You,
And we had some girls that didn't get tickets at
Yeah.
first, and they had just come over, and we were crying with them too. And you know they didn't get tickets, and I felt so bad. I really wanted these people to get in.
yeah.
And the moment people announced there's some commotion in the line, I guess Johnny went live again. That he was giving out tickets. I'm like, because they had literally just left our line. I'm like running down the street, like trying to get to them, make sure they got in line again so they could, you know, that other side
Yeah,
of the
Johnny's
road.
coming out again. Johnny's coming out
Yeah.
again. So, you know,
And-
just so they
and-
form their line again.
And has everybody, and most of those people end up getting tickets. They came over here. We're all like crying, happy tears, like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
every
I got
time the
tickets.
next person came running down this street, it's like, "I got tickets," and everybody was like, "Yay, next person with
Yeah.
tickets." It was just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It was so positive. It really
Yeah,
was.
it really was good.
Yeah. So then you had your tickets. You
And
went in.
then we were interviewed by the news.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
On that.
There's a little bit of interview with the news.
Honestly, the guy was interviewing like everybody quite a bit, and then he was, "Can I just interview you?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like, "Yes, you can." So he was asking about me coming from the UK and wherever, and then
Don't put it on our telly.
I know, and then I was looking
not
at what TV
incognito.
station. It's like a local LA station.
Yeah.
Did you
So I
see
thought,
it?
"Ah,
Has
it's
it come
fine."
out? Did you see the footage?
Hillary has it. I think
Yeah,
it's
Hillary
her.
has it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Not my interview. That was I don't know where that went.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah,
But
and
like with all of us with the tickets.
Yeah,
doing the
yeah.
flipping.
Saw that. Yeah.
at the end of my interview, he was like, "So if you have a message for like a member of NSYNC, you know, what would you like to say right now?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you know, what am I going to say?" She goes, "If you want to say anything to Justin, not NSYNC, because obviously we didn't know it was NSYNC. If you want to say anything to Justin," I said, "Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I hope they're never going to show this." So,
What did you ask? What did you say?
I couldn't possibly say.
Ah!
That why I didn't get
to
aired.
be honest, I
Come
don't
back to
remember.
London.
I don't even remember what I said. You know, it was literally just like, I'm so excited to see the show or something like that, blah, 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 you know, something a bit standard. But yeah, then they let us in.
And you made your way to the
Finally.
pits, right?
Yeah.
At,
See,
at
this
That
this
is
was
point,
that was
sorry.
amazing to see when we walked in there how close we were to
Yeah.
the stage.
Yeah.
That was just, it was awe-inspiring.
But wasn't that
It really
stressful
was.
as well? Because we got in, we showed our ticket, we wanted to go into the, you know, into the theater, but they said, no, you can't come in, you have to get your wristbands first somewhere else. And it's
Yes,
like, oh
yes,
my
yes,
God,
yes,
I'm
yes.
running
They're
here
like,
and I'm running here and I'm
yeah.
running there, you know, and it's like, because we were like, oh, we can't get the merch right now, because when you get into the pit, you want to be right at the front. You're not going to stand in line to buy your t-shirt when there's other people going to the front of the pit, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, quick as possible. But then, yeah, he sent us somewhere else to get our wristband. And I remember us standing in line for the wristbands. And it's like, give me my wristband, give me my wristband. You know,
I was torn. I was like, do I go over there? Do I wait for the people so they know where to go? Do I,
yeah.
where do we go?
I think we all separated at that point. We just all
A little
ran. We
bit,
knew
yeah.
we would meet up again, you know, because
Yeah.
we all had an idea of where we wanted to stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we got down, the front was taken completely. Like, you know, the first row right up against the barrier, that was pretty much
Yeah.
taken. But yeah, we knew we wanted to be on Andrew's side because we knew that Justin is going to come down there.
Right.
The Timber Touch Zone.
Yes, yes. I'm
Yes.
so thankful for you guys for that.
Yeah, because we said, oh, this is where because we were like, where we're going to stand. And Marissa and me were like, we have to stand here. I mean, that was Marissa's my plan from the start. If we get into the front, it's going to have to be by the side of Andrew, you know, because we knew Justin is going to come down that way. So yeah, it was the four of us, wasn't it? It was Hillary, you and Marissa and
Yes,
me. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Monica was there as well.
Monica was there. Actually, she joined us
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So whilst this was all happening, back at home in the UK, we've now entered the early hours of the morning. I think Dee, you said that some people had stayed up, some people had gone to sleep for 3 hours. I think about 2 a.m. was when most of us started to reassemble online and joined a group WhatsApp video call with Verena from the pits as well. This wasn't on Insta Live, this was just on our WhatsApp, and got the lowdown right, and then proceeded to try and work out what we were going to do for the next few hours while we waited for the show to start, which ultimately started at about 20 past 3 a.m. our time, I think, when Justin finally came on.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was late. 'Cause I think after the show, I think I went to bed for 1 hour between 7 and 8 before I went to work. So after all that excitement,
It
was
doesn't
good,
feel
but
like it was a long time between, you know, between us
No.
getting there and Andrew coming in. I remember
Yeah.
once we had our spot in the pit, I said, I'm going to go back to the merch line and see how big the line is, just in case, because we had a good spot and I thought that would probably be safe, you know, while I go and get some stuff. So I went back to the line, but it was so long. I thought, no, I'm not going to risk this because you just don't know how many people are going to turn up. And at that point, the pit was really, really empty, wasn't it?
yeah.
It was literally just a couple of lines at the front, but of course it filled up completely. So once I got back, I don't think it was a long time before Andrew turned up, was it?
No,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like it from home.
No, it was really quick. I feel like maybe half an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was a long time.
Yeah,
I did risk
we were
it and go to the merch.
You did?
I did risk it and go to the merch, but I had them right there, and like she said, there wasn't that many people right there, so I was kind of like, I want to make sure I get something and all of that. So, because I didn't know what was, and I asked them, I was like, do you know if you're gonna, do you think, because they'll know what stock they have, you know, if it's a little bit, if it's a lot, what that relates to the crowd that's there, and they're like, I asked them before, I said, do you think you'll still have stuff like at the end of the show? And she basically tried to hint to get in line now. So I think a couple of us took a little bit of turns, just in the general area, but because it was kind of at that point, it was still kind of lax in the front in the pit.
Yeah.
And then so I got my stuff, and we were able to store our stuff like right on the other side of the barricade to the stage. And then of course I joined the queue afterwards to get the Paradise shirt.
At the
which
end of
was
the
super
show,
exciting
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, V,
yeah,
you had a
yeah.
big shopping list, didn't you?
I
So
did. Yeah, well, we get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andrew came on and, we started seeing faces that we knew. Like, obviously, AJ was there and he was dancing right by our side there, having a good time to Andrew's set.
Started seeing all the managers come out, and
Yeah.
and then like there was a little bit of a mini announcement between people that all 5 of the managers have been spotted there and
Yeah.
everything. So it was really exciting. It looked each
Yeah,
level
I think,
was like,
we saw obviously
who was
we saw
there?
Mulvey. I saw Marty, but Marty did not come to the front. He stood quite far back, otherwise I would have said hi to him. I mean, we saw Jess outside already. Just Lance's manager. We saw her outside. But yeah, I saw Eric quite early, and it's like they wouldn't all be there without the guys being there, obviously, I think it was like none of us had a shred of doubt that the guys would be there. I think, we all knew it just from seeing Jess there, and and then of course no, we didn't know that the kids was there. We saw that, well, I mean, what's her name was there? Nikki was there with her kids. No, Nikki was there with her oldest kid and with Silas. But I didn't look at the kids that closely to see whether that's Silas or not.
They were having fun. They were having a lot of fun. One of them was like flipping their hair.
Silas,
and
man,
dancing.
I mean,
it was so much fun.
Dancing like crazy, super cute. But I didn't realize at that point that was Silas. Obviously, I don't really, I have an idea of what he looks like, but I wouldn't stare at this kid, just trying to figure out who it is. It's just a couple of kids. So, but yeah, I just saw those kids were having a really good time dancing so hard. It was really, really cute.
And Nash was there for a little bit too, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all the wives, they all came
Girlfriends,
later,
wives,
didn't they? Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah. Everybody was there. But yeah,
and they were dancing too. They were singing the
Oh, yeah.
lyrics. They were having fun. They were.
Oh,
yes, everybody was having a good time. But yeah,
it must have been so surreal for them, those who hadn't, because obviously, hadn't been around during the,
I know.
good old days. So just,
Yeah.
and obviously they know who their partners are.
Well,
and they've
most
seen
of
the
all
footage,
of them,
but
all of them have not been around when their
No.
partners were in sync. None of their husband and wives and girlfriends were around when they were in sync. So
yeah,
it must have been really, really surreal for all of them.
surreal, very proud. Yeah,
Yeah.
must have been amazing for them. So we've seen Andrew's set.
Mhm.
Then I guess Justin comes on stage.
Yes.
What was that like? How was he? The atmosphere must have started to go wild.
Yes, absolutely. Diane, do you want to talk about Justin?
I want to talk about Justin. No, it was. I mean, honestly, he has such a great stage presence, and he commands the audience, and he interacts really well.
Very
with the
much.
crowd.
Yes.
And he feeds off of it. Like
Yeah.
it's energy for him. It's fuel.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was really living life and enjoying every second of it.
Yeah.
Every second of it. And we were too.
Oh yeah. I mean, there is
amazing.
so much. I mean, I don't know how it is on the big stage. I've been to see him obviously on the big stage, but I've never been up front. So I don't know how that is. But in this particular show, and I'm sure it was the same in Memphis and New York, but the interaction between him and the audience is insane. The amount of interaction, like the eye contact, the proper face to face with him is constant, and it's like he's really there with you. And
I really loved his heart to heart. He
oh God, yes.
during
I've
it.
actually got I still haven't posted it. I've got it actually. I have to post it. His speech.
I adored it, and I know a lot of people, they see this ego, this big celebrity, and they don't get to see that side of him as much, because usually he's just performing, or he's this identity of Justin the artist, but he really is the person. He is
the mighty
humble.
JT.
He has grown. Yes. And he definitely appreciated, I mean, big huge feels. I think everybody felt it when he was talking about for like the past 30 years we've been doing this together, and all of that, and you getting chills just thinking about it, because I mean we've all been there, and throughout this journey we've really grown up together.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
if
the
you're
way he
later
said
into the
that we have
fandom.
grown up together, it
So
was
I really loved that.
Yeah.
I really loved that.
And one thing that, I mean, obviously in the end, when you go to a show, it's about the music, it's about the songs, it's about the voice. I've always been aware of Justin having an amazing voice, but Jesus effing Christ. I mean, that he can sing. Oh my goodness. I almost feel bad that even myself, I haven't given him the credit that he deserves, because I'm a JC girl. It's been all about JC's vocals. And I'm sticking to that, obviously, but Justin, oh my God, he blew me away with his vocals. His voice is so ridiculously strong, and the range is unbelievable. It's so versatile. Like from one song to the next, it's so different. Within a song, he sings everything in one song. All his abilities are within one song. It's just a bit unbelievable to hear him live, and like to be that close to him and see his face that close, see the sweat dripping off him as he's coming out with these sounds, that are just unreal. He is incredible.
And the fact he did Selfish with the acoustic version, I know we
Oh
all
my
were
God,
excited when he was doing those little snippets with all the fans going in, which was amazing. But he was actually practicing it for the show. And just hearing the acoustic was like,
yes, I've
he's
got that
really
as well. I
super
still have to
talented.
put that. Unbelievable, honestly. So, I've always been a Justin fan, but I am really a Justin fan. It's unbelievable what his stage presence and everything together. He's incredible.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it was like in person, because obviously we must say we were so grateful to everyone who went live and streamed for us online, because I say at this point he'd come on stage at 3:20 in the morning, or something like that, and we were so grateful that we got to watch the entire show. We got very good angles of of various parts.
Many of
his,
us had very good angles.
Yeah. He likes to put his foot up on the speakers, on the playback quite a lot.
Yeah,
so.
more than we bargained for them.
Got an eyeful a few times, didn't we? That woke us up. If you were going to drift off to sleep, you weren't after that, that's for sure. But we were just so grateful. And I think what I feel like, I just can't imagine what it must have been like to be there. And obviously still so gutted that we missed the London show after everything, because it came across so well on camera on the streams. You could only imagine what it felt like physically must have felt like in that kind of venue, and to be there. So you guys were so lucky.
Yes, really. I mean, his intro to My Love, it's like, oh my God, I don't know how many times I've watched my video of that, and I think it makes a difference if you're really up close as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've seen him live lots of times, but I've never been that close. I've always been somewhere in the audience, and to be right there and, see the expressions on his face, like how he's feeling it, and
Well, that's it. We're spoiled now, so when like,
I know,
especially because in Memphis as well. It's like I've been there, nearly touching him now, so I'm like, I can't go sitting in the nosebleed seat.
No, never again. No,
can't do it.
No. I mean, we're quite lucky that for his tour, when he comes over to the UK in August, we've all got quite good tickets. So it'd be really interesting to see, obviously, much bigger venues, arenas. But
I
hopefully
think
still being at the front will feel good.
Yeah, I think for all of the shows that we're all seeing, we're within the first 10 rows at any point.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I don't think we're ever any further than that. Are we even as far back as 10 rows? I don't even think so.
No, I don't think so. Probably like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, and a few front rows at the different cities as well.
Yeah,
we got Birmingham and London at least, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. All right.
It was such a slog to get the tickets, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. We're still going. We're still looking, aren't we?
Yeah. I still need O2 ticket.
Yeah.
I just need one ticket for the O2.
I hate when they're grouped too. Like you want these seats, and and you have to, they only, at least for out here, you pair it as 2 or more.
Yeah.
And we
It's
also
hard
have
to
the
buy
pricing
one.
issues, the dynamic pricing
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
But it's such a pain when it's like they're locked in as 2 tickets together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because somebody
it-
sent me some really good tickets. I think it was Maggie the other day. I think it was front row, but you had to buy the 2. I was like, it's only me, and I couldn't get them.
yeah, they won't let you leave single seats, will they? That's what the issue
No,
is,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is funny because obviously you wanted to buy a single seat,
yeah.
so
There are
someone
always
else
people
might
who
have
want a
done
single
too.
seat. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. But there we go. So then Justin goes down towards Andrew and gets ready to do his kind of vibing with the DJ. We've seen him do it at
Yeah.
the other 2 shows, so we know it's coming. But this time, I'm guessing we're all being very suspicious because we think that this is probably going to be the moment, particularly when
Well,
It
to
came
be,
out
girlfriend
twice.
to be honest,
starts.
not me. Yeah, he came down
Oh.
twice. I did not think they were coming. I had no idea how
Oh my
he was
gosh.
going to work it in. I thought that, do you know what? I lost track of time, and I completely lost like track of how many songs he'd sung. You know how the show goes by so fast.
Yeah, and you don't know if you're getting to the end or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I would have thought about it, I would have known that, we're coming to the end, but I just didn't. It just went so fast, and I had the feeling that the DJ set would be more in the middle of the show, not towards the
yeah.
end.
Yeah.
So when he came down, he went up and down a couple of times. I know in Memphis he went around the crowd, but it wasn't possible in this particular theater. And I think in what did he do in New York?
He did
He
do
kind of
the
just leaned over, didn't he?
yeah.
Like it
Well,
was,
he went
but
down
they
a little
were,
bit because he did the favorite drug. Remember, and it looked like no
Oh
one was
yeah,
dancing.
that's right. Yeah. But anyway, he went up and down the stage a couple of times. But then of course, yeah, he said he was going to take it back, and then he said he's going to take it even further back. I did not click. Not at all. Everybody else must have done, but I
We
did not
did.
click that
We did.
was the time.
The push.
We were in the live
Yeah.
things, and everyone was going, "They're
Yeah.
coming, they're coming, they're coming out now."
Oh, because
so we were
also
ready.
They had
don't
the
forget,
post.
because we were at home, the Instagram post has gone up with the
Yeah.
5 stalls, which you guys couldn't see.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're
Menu.
standing in the audience, you're not going to check your Instagram, and Justin is right next
No,
to you
yeah.
in the DJ
Yeah.
booth. That was the last thing on our mind. So it was,
And
but
all the managers started doing live videos, so it was
Yeah.
like Johnny went on VIT, and it was just like everyone just popped up. There was about 12 to choose from, wasn't
Yeah.
there? And it was
Yeah.
just like, who do we watch?
It was very
so
stressful.
I the only time when I realized it's going to be now was when he stood in the middle, with his arms crossed, like that
Yeah.
last second
Yeah.
before the curtain opened. Luckily, I was already filming at that point, but that's when I realized, and that's when my life ended.
That's when you died.
That's
Blacked
when I
out.
died.
Instant death.
Yeah.
Imagine if everyone just went in the audience.
Everyone just
Gone.
cried.
the roar, the absolute roar of that crowd when when that curtain opened.
Yeah.
The videos do not do it justice. The noise.
And you can hear it go really loud,
Yeah.
but I can
But
imagine what
it's
like.
nothing compared to what it actually, because I can watch these
It's the
videos back and I said,
vibrations,
no,
it's everything.
I've never honestly, the noise was absolutely deafening. I was deaf afterwards until the next day. I was still deaf. It was unbelievable. The screams, like not just like people stamping and whatever, but the screaming was like, honestly, I know.
Did you scream?
It was, yes, I did scream. And
proper screams though. Can I just clarify? Because now we're older, I feel like we don't scream anymore. We woo.
Yeah.
You actually proper
Oh
scream.
no, this is
well,
screaming.
as I said, I think I said to you guys before, I've never been a screamer. I've always been an enjoyer. When I go to a show, I think, why are people screaming? Even when I was younger, I've never screamed at a show because I just don't have it in me. I'm not that kind of person. I'm, and I just this kind of hysterical thing. It's just not me. And it's always fine for others, but not for me. I stood there and the curtain opened, and I don't know how I kept my camera so still. I was shaking like it was insane. That you can't even put it into words. You can't express like what you were thinking or feeling at that moment. They're just there, and it's like You know, you could stand in front of Joey, or you could stand in front of Chris, or you could stand in front of Justin or whatever, even if they're right in front of you. But there's nothing like all 5 of them together in front of you. You know, it's just, there is nothing like it, and you can't describe it. It's you can literally, I don't know, it's like die happy after that, right? And everyone was screaming like crazy all around me, and you know, and I just screamed, and I don't know if you even hear it on my phone because you can't tell who's me and who's not me, but it was like, because there was no other way of expressing what you're feeling, you know. There is just
Yeah, and I suppose it's been months and months of are anything getting back together, they're doing anything, and then it's a bit of a release, isn't it?
And
Just
yeah,
to
the thing is, I mean, I went to the ceremony, I saw all 5 of them together there. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. Well, I did actually cry before they came out, just at the realization that all 5 of them are going to be in front of us. But it wasn't like a breaking down crying. It was a couple of tears running down my face, you know, kind of like, oh, I'm going to see them, you know, they're going to be here. It was different. And at the ceremony, everybody was screaming, and I didn't scream. It was different. I don't know why
it was a different scream than at the show.
Yeah,
it was surprising that the screaming ever stopped at the show.
Well, it didn't though, did it? I mean, it stopped when they started singing Paradise, but it was like people were literally, I thought people were literally going into like shock because the screaming was so intense and so constant. And you know, I thought I was surprised nobody had to be carried out. Like it was literally, it was so loud and so long, and you know, I've not seen or heard anything like it. And yeah, I screamed just literally because there is no other way to get it out. You know, you can't look to the person next to you and say, "Oh, cool," right? You know, it's oh look,
you can't be casual.
Yeah,
it's nice. You card it out. Oh, cool. Yeah,
yeah.
It's interesting.
Oh, look, and it's like it's this built up thing, you know, from these
Pressure,
25 years.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, it's just waiting for this and waiting and not knowing, is it ever going to happen, you know. Until about a year ago, we had nothing, did we? And no hope. Even I think about a year ago, we didn't even have hope that it will ever happen again, you know, when they were already, you know, laughing.
I was at the EITIW, what was that? Was it April or August? Yeah, Epcot. And prior, and there was kind of some rumors that maybe more of them would show up, and usually just like one of the guys shows up, like it's been Chris or Lance that shows up for the Joey show. And I was a little bit like, because there had been some buzz around about NSYNC and just them together type of thing, and like really thought all of them were going to be there. And then when it was just Lance, sorry,
Yeah.
Lance, it was like, it hit me because I was like, oh my God, is this really not going to happen? Like,
yeah.
it just, and then little did I know that they had already recorded Better Place, and I'm like, that little, no.
Yeah.
But what a freaking gift it's been, you know, all of this time to now be immersed in all of this and be able to be brought back to our youths again and experience hearing them again and seeing them again. And,
it's just the relief of knowing that we have another chance at this, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me cry.
I know.
And we need to say congratulations to Lance for keeping it quiet.
Well done.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. It's really been like, the more the years went by, the more it's been like, we will never have them again. You know, this will never, what we've lost back then, we will never have that again. And just that relief of realizing, you know, we get another go, and it doesn't matter how long it lasts, even if it's just a little bit, you know, or if it's a long time, we don't know that.
It could just be this song Paradise or whatever, but even that, as you say, it'd be a nice closure song if it was.
Well, I don't know. I mean, people often mention the word closure. I don't think I'll ever get closure with these guys. I never want it to end, even if they're just doing the one song and then stopping again, you know. Like, I mean, we're not that old,
Just stay on the
I'm not ready to
hiatus.
die yet. I want them to carry on until I die. I just
Yes.
I need them in my life, you know, all five
Yes.
of them together. I can't imagine my path carrying on and knowing never to see them again and never to have them again and hear them again and, you know, stuff of them on TV or whatever. It's like, or on the internet. It's like, I just cannot imagine how that would be without, because even all those years when we always had a little bit, you know, we always had a bit of, they've been together like in bits and bobs and, you know, they did obviously the VMAs and all that kind of stuff. But once there is a point when there really is nothing, I can't imagine, like, you know, they've got to carry on forever and ever. They're just not
I
allowed
agree.
to stop. You know, the
Yes.
togetherness of all five of them is this, you can't compare it to
Well, they
anything.
must have felt it anyway.
Oh, I'm
They
sure they
felt
did.
that they felt it in the room,
They
and they must be
absolutely did.
thinking,
Sure they did.
we can't. This can't be the last time we're on stage together.
Mm,
So
No.
No,
Mm.
how overwhelming for them it must have been. Like
Oh yeah.
you saw like Justin's face
Mm.
when the four boys walked up behind him and he's really breathing it in and he gives that cheeky grin. Do you know that kind of nod on
little
his
nose
face?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did this. Yeah, you,
I
you on
can't
us.
Chris's
honestly.
face light up.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, he
Chris
was
was
so
just
proud.
ecstatic,
Yeah.
wasn't
he was
he?
like a little bunny, wasn't he? He was just
Yeah,
cooking
his
himself.
face,
Sticking
man.
his tongue out.
Yeah. I mean, I know Chris's face now because I've seen it on YouTube. Because during the show I did not look at Chris.
Oh.
I didn't lose sight of JC the entire time, apart from when they came down and, you know, went to Andrew and I
Oh,
lost
he
track
was
of him
stood right
there,
next
and
to
then
him,
he
wasn't he, at the
stood at the
back?
back. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept panning like across. I wanted to get all of them,
Yeah.
and everything, and I'm like, eventually it clicks because again, this is all happening so fast, and we're like still
Yeah.
kind of in shock and everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's JC? And
Yeah.
then like I zoomed in a little bit, like, oh, there he is.
Yeah. It's in the safe
Skinny.
zone. But it was like,
Yeah.
you know, from the second of like the curtain opening and you just not being able to contain yourself, the next minute they're right in front of you in the DJ booth, you know, like
Yeah.
Lance and
Wow.
Justin was like right there, you know, and it's like you can't, and it wasn't just Justin because Justin was there before, but to have all five of them literally right there in front of you is oops, my microphone. It's falling. It's just, you know, it was so overwhelming, the entire thing, because it happened so fast as well, and so unexpected that they came off stage to be right there as well. We didn't know that, you know, that they would do
No.
that.
No.
But yes, it was just the reality of all five of them in one spot.
And when they started singing the song, Paradise, did it go as quiet as it sounded?
Yeah.
Did everybody just,
Yes,
from all the screaming,
completely,
they
absolutely.
just wanted to listen to the voices?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was really rare, I think, because a lot of times you always get idiots, you know, still shouting, and
Yeah.
you
Hello
feel like you're going,
there!
shut up, you know.
Yeah.
But no, everybody wanted to listen to the song, you know, as much as the next person. It was silent. It was really, really quiet, which was incredible to see, to feel, you know, to
Yeah,
experience
the
that.
minute they all kick in at the same
Mhm.
time.
And
Oh, we were sobbing, weren't we?
I mean, I remember looking around and looking at Marissa, and she was sobbing. Her face was like raw from crying, you know, and everybody was like, everybody was
it was like a
crying.
proud moment, I thought. I felt
Yeah.
proud, like when my
Mhm.
kids have done stuff, but I was probably more proud of these. I was like, "Wow." Yeah, the kids were
It's just
around
my
them.
kids.
Yeah. But have you been on stage with JC?
Yeah. And it's not just, I mean, all five of them singing together, but then actually hearing the song, which is like the most beautiful song.
Mm.
Perfect.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
it's honestly, they could have, I don't know what they could have sung to top this. Like
Yeah.
you know, they could have sung, if they would have sung an old song, they could have sung whatever, God Must Have Spent or whatever, but you know, it was just, this is the most beautiful song, and the voices like showcased so well in this song. When Justin wrote this, he knew what he was doing, didn't he, with how he
Yeah.
has
Oh,
written
yeah.
the different bit parts for everybody. He, like, I mean, his part and JC's part, like the range within a couple of sentences. Like he's getting everything out of JC, isn't he? Like
Yeah, he's up
Yeah.
high, down low.
yeah, he's like, I
Yeah.
know that you guys, I'm going to showcase his voice to the world with this song, because my opinion is always JC doesn't really know what suits his voice. So when he chooses his own songs, he doesn't always showcase his vocal abilities. But when somebody else writes for him, like Justin, it works much better. And I think Justin was adamant to show everybody JC's ability.
Yeah.
So yeah, that it's just like the show, and all the vocals, all the harmonies were just so spot on for everyone. You could hear everyone so clear. Nobody blended in like in the background. Chris, oh my goodness, it's like to hear his voice like so clear and so strong. It's like that. Why do they sound so amazing if they haven't sung for so long? They're just,
Yeah.
I know
Just
they're
click,
all
isn't it?
doing their bits, their little shows and stuff like that. But oh my God, to hear all five of them together like that, there's nothing like their harmonies. I mean, this is why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
I think, like you said, the lyrics as well, the sentiment of the song,
Yes.
it was so perfect for them and their moment, for them and the fans.
Mm-hmm.
It really spoke to everyone, I think, didn't it? It just couldn't have been more perfect. And
Yeah.
just like you guys there, I think we just said we were in floods of tears at home.
Yeah.
And at this point, it was just before about 5:30 a.m. in the
Yeah,
morning.
it was.
So
It
we were
was
now in the morning.
Mhm.
It just, I mean, girls, we just couldn't believe it, couldn't we? We
No.
just were stunned, overwhelmed.
Yeah. I didn't cry initially. You guys were all messaging saying, oh, crying emojis. And I was like, I'm not crying, but I was in bed. The baby was behind me. So I was like, okay. But then I re-listened to it later in the day and listened to the words. And then I was
Mm.
sat there crying.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't actually cry. Like I said, I saw everybody around me crying, and I didn't cry during the performance. It hit me a little bit later that I started to
After the show, it definitely hit you. You were, I mean, for me also, it was still that surreal, like,
Mhm.
you don't know how to process all of this.
Yeah.
You really don't. I mean, again, just seeing them together, on top of being there, on top of hearing them together, on top of a new song, all of these different layers of experiences. It's like an onion, you're peeling it and you're experiencing all these different things. I didn't want to go to sleep because I'm like, what if this is a dream? And we wake up. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yes, I left before Justin went off stage. So he'd finished singing Mirrors, but he still stood there, and I thought, I've got to get to this flipping merch stand now before everybody else gets there. So I ran and I was like, bye, Justin. And I ran to get in front of the line. And so I got straight into the line. And obviously I had a massive shopping list from you people. So I was like apologizing to the lady. I said, I'm really sorry, but it's going to take me a while to work, because I had to send her again and again because I read everything separate. I was like, one medium of this, one large of that. And, she kept going back and forth. And then after dropping $540, it's like, oh my God. So I actually packed up my bags. And then I stood there waiting for everybody to turn up slowly, from coming from inside. And I think while I was waiting there for you guys, that's when it hit me. And I remember you, Dee, you were coming over, and it's like you saw me there like sobbing. And it's like,
we shared another hug, yet another
Yeah.
hug. We were just like, again, feeling the emotion of everything. That's the first wave of when it hit me. Like, this was really real. This happened and all of
Yeah.
that. But to be honest, the whole thing, and it's not really the traveling thing. The whole thing took me a good 4-5 days
Yeah.
before I could like really function again,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah,
just was everything.
I don't think it's of course, yeah, we did quite a bit of traveling, but I don't think it's that. I think it's just the
exactly. I don't think
emotional
it's travel at
part of
all.
it that knocks you out. But yeah, we all met
Yeah.
up, everybody. We all met up, and we were supposed to go out for a meal together or for something. We were going to go karaoke or something like that. But I think we all very dead, right?
Yeah.
My feet hurt so much to walk.
We
Oh my
went.
goodness.
We went across. We met Andrew again, didn't we? Because Andrew came out, and Andrews was in the same hotel as you, right?
Yes.
Which was quite
That was
funny.
funny.
Yeah. So yeah, we just briefly went up to your room just to decompress for a little bit, and like I was like, I'm gonna have to go. And yeah, couldn't think of I don't even know what we had planned. We were gonna go Shake Shack or something like that.
Yeah, I think we were
Did you
supposed
end
to
up going?
meet up there. No.
No.
Melissa and I tried to, there's a McDonald's that was right next to the hotel. We tried to go to the McDonald's, they were closed, so we had tried to walk through the drive-through to get some food. But that didn't work out too well. So we had to go to the supermarket across the street to get something to eat.
Oh, you had a Ralph's
Melissa,
right there, didn't you? Yeah.
yeah. And so we just got some food from inside the supermarket, and Melissa and I were staying in the same hotel, so we just reviewed some of the videos and talked together and all of that, and then I think it was like 2:30 in the morning by the time she went upstairs. We just kept kind of gabbing about it and experiencing it and trying to process it. And I had to force myself off the phone around like 3:30. I'm like, okay, I need to put my phone away for me. And the next day I was like, I again didn't know how to function. And it wasn't until Verena did the live that I'm like, okay, I can get ready now.
Yeah.
I can get dressed and get ready. Because I just sat in bed, like, again, trying to process. And then there's physical exhaustion as well. But it just was like, it was so much. And in all the positive ways it could be. It was so much.
The next morning I was up.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I went to bed pretty late. When I got back to my hotel, I still didn't go to bed right away. But I woke up early in the morning. I think that's one of the jet lag things, that you deal with when you go to the US. You can't really sleep, and so many things on your mind and stuff like that. And I got up pretty early that morning. And just made my plans to meet up with you at some point. So
yeah.
And walked around, and we had a pretty fun day.
We did.
We met up to have some lunch in the afternoon. Where did we meet? Oh, we just met on Hollywood, didn't we? We just met there and then walked around a little bit, then we went to the Star. Did we go to the Star first?
No, the Star was not first. Wait, was it? Oh man.
No, we went
we came back for that.
We went for food first. Yeah, we had our ramen noodles, and then we went
I think it was like 2:00 in the afternoon by then.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yes. So we had something to eat. We came back and we went to the Star. We took our pictures lying in the street with a star and people
on
walking
that dirty floor.
I know. Well, we tried to clean it up, didn't we? We tried to tidy up the area a little bit,
Yeah.
But we wanted our tickets in the picture, and we wanted your hat in the picture, and we wanted to be in the picture. The only way to do that was to lie in it.
And this super sweet guy came down the street, down the sidewalk, and we were just laughing hysterically.
Yeah.
The tickets were trying to fly away, and we were posing them there, and we were just like laughing at the silliness of it all. And this guy offered to take pictures for us, and he was excited about the show as well. He was like, he was jealous of us that we went.
He was like, "Did you go to the show last night?" And we were like, "Yeah," because he saw our tickets. Obviously, we met quite a few people, didn't we, who said that about the show, wasn't it? Oh, I had that as well. Oh yes, I had it. Yeah, I can't remember where I got somebody asking me this, but at the airport on the way back, somebody was asking me about that random conversation. So, oh, did you get to go? And it was like, yes. Oh, I was wearing the t-shirt. But yeah, all sorts of people were, obviously it was I think in LA people all knew about it. They must have gone around the press pretty fast. So
yeah, I had some like Lyft drivers that were excited about it as well.
Yeah. Soon, because the Lyft drivers are always trying to make a bit of chat, don't they? And then what did we do after that? We went around the souvenir shops. We were looking for the names. Oh my God, that's all we did, running around souvenir shops looking for all the 5 names to put together.
That was a challenge.
It was. We could never find a Lance.
No. And then Verena was smart to use James. So then I saw in the store there was like a little placard that was the Star with nothing on it, and I don't even know what kind of alcohol that was. The little bottles
with everybody's
with
name,
all their
yeah.
names. We posed it in front of there with our tickets, and I mean, it was just a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah,
It really
just
was.
being silly. And then we went out for dinner. And the plan was before, like from the start, we said we're gonna go to Rocco's WeHo. And we were meeting up with our dear friend Mia from the Chris Kirkpatrick Mess Show.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely Mia.
Oh, is she?
Yes. She was
AKA
really good.
JC.
Yeah. So we met up there. I mean, obviously I'd never been there. I've been to LA a few times, but I've never been to Rocco's. But yeah, we went there. It's actually smaller than I thought it is.
Same thing. I thought it'd be
From the
larger as
pictures
well.
are always, it looks really, really big. But yeah, we met Mia outside and went inside. She was so excited for us that we went to see the show. She couldn't believe it, you know, that all 5 of them were together. And she really is actually a bigger fan than I thought she was.
Mm.
You know, like, I mean, I know she's a fan, but
Yeah.
she seemed a lot
Huge
more
fan.
casual than us lot, you know, but she's actually a really big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. She sent her love to all of you guys, and I completely forgot to, you know, there's been so many other
thanks,
things
Mia.
going on, but yeah, she did send her love. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Rocco's is super cute. It's a really cute place. And they were playing bingo there, so we took part in the bingo.
Bingo
You
card.
got your bingo card.
I brought them with me. I had to.
Amazing.
So
Yeah,
it was like it was a musical bingo. So they had songs, like the first one was like themed around the weather. So they were all like weather-based songs, and then there was like a Disney one, and we left when it was Pop Divas, I think, or something like that, because we're like, oh, look at the time, it's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
it was like 8:30, and we're like, oh, we got to listen to it at, you know, the midnight release.
the album, yeah.
So we
that's
hurried
right.
up and
Because we wanted to go back to listen to the album. We wanted to go back to the hotel to listen to the album together.
Yeah, that kind of leads us on, I guess, to Justin's album, because you guys heard it at 9 p.m. your time, which was midnight on the East Coast.
Yes.
We'd already heard it.
It almost leads us to that, because that same night, while we were, didn't they had the album launch party, right?
They did. I didn't realize that they would have a party for the album release. It didn't register in my head. I'm like, okay, of course they'll have a party after the show.
When did we see the first pictures of it? Was it when we were sitting in the hotel?
I thought I saw it the next day. I don't even know.
We?
I don't know.
I think we might have sent pictures through on our WhatsApp chat, because you started to get pictures of the guys and the girls, and I think
I think I got them that night in the hotel.
I think I realized it the next day. I was using was looking at the background, trying to figure out where they were, and I saw there was like a sweater or a jacket or something on the wall that had like a name of a restaurant, and I started trying to Google to find out what it was, and lo and behold, they had the nerve to be an 8-minute walk from where we were at Rocco's without inviting us. What?
It's quite rude. 8 minutes from us, you know, and it literally could have been where we were, you know, when we were getting into Mia's car, where she had her car parked, you know, it was literally, we could have been like just a few steps down the road. And it's like, the thing is LA is so big, it's so vast, you know, and there's so many places where they could have been, and all 5 of them together in one spot, and literally like next door. It's like you don't know about it. It's like, what the hell? I mean, what would we have done if we would have known about it? It's not like we would have
hung around outside and
would have hung around outside.
Let's be honest,
we could listen to the album being released there instead of from our phones.
Yeah, hoping to get some of those mushrooms that they were handing out there.
Yeah, so openly.
Hey, Justin.
Send some out.
Yeah, check some of these mushrooms out. So that was a bit of a bummer, but you know, it's one of those things when you just feel afterwards, damn it, you know, they were right there, and you know.
But honestly, we had a great time regardless.
We really did.
We had really enjoyed it.
But then it comes to the album listen.
Yeah, so we'd actually heard it obviously before you guys, because it hit at midnight our time. So we had it. Those of us who stayed awake, actually, some of us were just so tired, and I include myself in that. I actually ordered a physical copy of the CD, and Amazon actually, rather naughtily, delivered it a day early. For
Yeah, you
your
guys, it was
parcel.
early.
I actually got it on the Thursday, and I wanted to send you guys
Wow.
photos of it to say, guys, the album's turned up. But I couldn't listen to it because I was actually at work, and my mum had opened it for me because I'd got an email to say it had arrived, and I was like, open it up, is it really it? And so she sent photos, so I couldn't actually listen to it early, but I could have done.
Yeah, I couldn't. I wouldn't have been able to. I haven't got a CD player, so
yeah.
my CD, we can't use it. That'd
well,
have
do you know
been worse.
Yeah, I don't have one in the house. I'd have had to have gone and sat in the car, just
Mm.
sat on the drive or something and listened
Mhm.
to it. What's your first, well, not your first impressions, I guess, just what are your impressions of the album? What do you like? What's your favorite songs? Unskippable, right?
Oh my God, don't even know where to start.
There was quite a few growers on there because there was a couple that I was about. It didn't hit first time, but
Not
like
me.
Memphis
No,
and
not me
Flame,
either.
them two were a
Oh
bit
my God.
different. But now I love listening to those in the car.
Yeah.
They sound really good.
For me, every single song started. I mean, you and me were just passed out on the bed with every single song that started. We were just like, listen to this. And oh my God, listen to this.
And when like there were some songs that like when the violin hit, I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never heard this sound from Justin before. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Mhm.
But I know since Verena and I talked about it, like nothing was skippable for us. It was
No,
just like,
not at all.
and even when we were getting the clips from when he was doing the little snippets, how is everything so dang good? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know how, but
Yeah.
it's still like everything has all of this energy, and it was amazing.
And
Yeah.
it's like a story. You've got to listen to it in order
Yeah.
rather than shuffle.
The depth to each song
Mm.
is unbelievable. You know, the detail to each song. There is nothing cheap on the album at all. I mean, he has spent it feels like he spent a year
6 years.
writing each individual song, like, you know, because there's so much thought in each song. It's just overwhelmingly good, this album. I love all of his albums, but on all of the other albums, there are skippable songs for me. This one, absolutely not. There's nothing. And I thought from the snippet that I wouldn't like play. But
I've
Yeah.
said that's been
I
my
love it.
favorite
I
since.
loved it since at the end of the song he goes, I'm going to give you something to play with.
Oh, thanks.
It's like, oh, please do.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Honestly, he's such a master lyricist, and it's really his craft, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
he even see like again with those behind the scenes videos, you see him practicing his craft. Like this is
Mm.
everything he lives, breathes. It's all of him. This is his.
He is such
This
an
is Justin.
incredible human, honestly.
And
Unbelievably
how many
talented.
like can you imagine before hearing that, hearing a lyric saying about a pot to piss in? Like
I know.
that was amazing.
So English.
That was
Yes.
Very
amazing.
British thing.
It's just that made me laugh, and I was like, have I heard that
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
had to
but
go back.
how does he come up with that? That it matches
Yeah.
so well. I mean, he's
Yeah.
such a lyricist. It's unbelievable. He's really wonder
Megan
boy.
Must have
talented.
put that one in for us because we were all like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Buzz.
like the
That's
UK
all
girls.
saying.
Mhm.
Diane, did you understand what it meant? Did he say it?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
because you just don't hear that in any shows or films or anything. It's not, but over here, it's like quite a common phrase,
Mhm.
isn't it?
For me, I was familiar with it. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was some of my experience with being, having friends and so on that were British as well, but it's or
I think it's
maybe
not.
just
Yeah, I think with the internet, this kind of all blends into each other, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
the
And
phrases.
it's what we
Yeah.
should be saying because we're all skint now
Yeah.
Yeah.
after buying tickets. We haven't got a pot to
You have
piss in
no
anymore.
idea. When it comes to going over to see Chris, I don't even know yet how I'm going to do that. I mean, my ticket is paid for, but the rest, I am broke. Absolutely broke
You're
after this.
broke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
broke. Yeah, so I'll have to. It'll be after the next payday, so it's all right.
Well, you can
Yeah.
do our video, what we put up before on Space Cowboys. You got to start selling it.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So guys, do you have a favorite track? Look, we like them all, but come on, you must have some favorites. I know
I mean,
do.
are we really asking Paradise, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Put
I think for
Paradise
me,
aside though,
Paradise.
because we're all biased.
For me, I mean,
Say
it
Paradise.
might be controversial, but for me, Paradise is not on this album. Like, Paradise is it just kind of fell into this album because they don't have a record deal, so they needed to chuck it on Justin's album to get it out. Well, for all I know, they may have a record deal now.
Yeah, because it's just all in sync, isn't it? It's just an in sync.
It doesn't
song.
match the rest of the
rest.
feeling of the album.
No, but we'll have it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we go from Alone with sort of a ballady thing into
yeah,
another
I don't know.
ballad.
Yeah, but it's not the
And it's
ballad
near the
type.
end
It's,
too.
Yeah, but it's just from, I don't know. It just sounds it's an NSYNC song that fell into it, just an album. You know, I kind of look at it as a separate entity. From for me, from all of his songs, I love Memphis and I love Conditions. My absolute favorite. Conditions, I can listen to it to death. That
I can't pick a favorite, but I will say Conditions is the one I'm repeating more often right now. I really can't pick a favorite, but I love how catchy it is. I really enjoy it.
And his voice in it is just so
now it's
smooth
playing in my head.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And just the lyrics, honestly, they break my heart, those lyrics. And every single time I listen to it, it breaks my heart to hear those lyrics. And yeah, it's really, really special.
I'm liking the boppy ones, especially in the car, like play and effing up the disco and can't say that word.
You're allowed to
you
say
can
it.
say it. You can say it.
I'm very
Fucking up the disco. You can say it.
We all said it. There we go.
You're allowed to
It's an
say
adult
it.
podcast.
Okay, fucking up the disco.
Yes.
There we go.
So innocently.
Yeah. I sing it down and dirty when I'm in the car, dead loud. When no one's in the car.
But it's like I can listen to the album and then as I'm going through the different songs, I can say, oh, this is my favorite. And I'm like Justin with the flipping color. Oh, it's my favorite color. And this is my favorite color. And I'm like that with the album. This is my favorite song, and now this is my favorite song. But I know from thinking back, the song I listen to the most, or the song I ask Alexa for most, is Conditions. I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely down the same as Dee with all the bops, and I've got several favorites. I've got No Angels, Play, Infinity Sex, Imagination are probably my top 4, putting Paradise aside. But I love Conditions. Like I love them all. I literally love all of those songs, but those are the 4 that I really love to bop to.
It's an incredible album. I'm gonna have to listen to Conditions 10,000 times before I go to bed.
It's hard to choose, but I think I have always said Looking Up the Disco.
Yeah.
It's probably my number 1.
Yeah.
Even though
you claimed that, didn't you? You claimed it.
I said that's mine.
Like,
nobody
from the
else
snippet, right? Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, that's fine.
I love Conditions, Out of the Soul, but I also love Alone and No Angels at the moment.
No Angels.
Tara.
How about you, Tara?
I really like Love and War. I do like that one.
Oh yes,
that is a good one.
For me, Love and War has it got a Prince thing going on, or am I wrong about that? I don't know. It sounds a bit Princey. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Just dramatic, the dramatics of it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I think, did you already say this, Sam? I like No Angels.
Yeah, I love No Angels.
But then, when I listen to the album and it comes to Drown, then I love it so much because the memories of our one night only.
Yeah, that's our song, isn't it? That's ours.
And when Selfish comes up, our first new song that he gave us, it's got nostalgic value already. Those 2 songs, I think. Selfish is just so it's hard to pick. Well, lucky we don't have to pick. Only because Sam is asking.
I know, sorry, but I'm interested to know, because we need to try and analyze these songs a little bit. I'm conscious that we're getting towards the end of our show soon, and we've mentioned No Angels just there on the album, and actually same day as the album dropped, Justin also released the new video for No Angels as well. And I think the reaction online was within our group was, I don't know whether I just love it or if I'm disturbed by it.
Yeah.
Can't you be both?
It's like,
Yeah.
I think you can.
yeah. And we was like, how does JT look so sexy covered in gunk?
Yeah.
Like, we
she
were like,
does.
how?
I
Apart
know.
from when he's in the boot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not so
I
much
mean,
that
like
part.
do you know what? It's not even the look, but it's the sounds that are just
Yeah,
disturbing.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
That gargling sound. It's like, oh my
Gargling.
God, you know.
It's a good video though,
It's
isn't
an
it?
It's
incredible
yeah.
video.
I look
Yeah.
forward
amazing.
to seeing him. Like, it's really a cinematic experience, and I know he released the shorter one as well, which I haven't watched the shorter one. I've only watched the long one several times, but just seeing him again, it's another layer of him telling his story or telling the
Yeah.
story of the song.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see how they all kind of connect together, because I believe he will do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
His attention to
I'm with you
detail.
on that one. Yeah, I just, you know, he's so multi-talented. And I think it's really nice. I don't think we've been getting good videos from anyone for a long time. And I think it's really nice to see him go all out on a
Yeah.
video, which
Yeah.
hasn't happened for a long time, you know.
No.
I mean,
no.
Selfish was a super cute video, but it was kind of
Yeah.
just a cute video
mm,
compared to this. You know, this is a proper, yeah, really.
gritty.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good video. It's definitely one of my favorite ones I've seen for a while because that kind of theme is right up my street. I love stuff like that, like
Yeah.
film wise. So I was like, oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you ever watched Angel, you know, from Buffy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
did.
it's
Yeah.
got a real angel feel to it, I think.
Yeah, it
You
has.
know, I
Yeah.
really like that.
Even though there's
Or
no
Blade.
angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Angel was a vampire, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it really
Yeah.
matches it. Like just the car that he's driving, it's
Yeah,
like the angel
and
car.
the dark
Yeah.
colours and all the
Yeah.
red and
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
I
very,
think
you know.
Steph was pointing out all of the Michael Jackson references.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Thriller with the car turning
Yeah.
up, and I think I don't think it was I don't think it was me, but I think when the music starts and he's going in, you know, through the doors, it sounds a bit like what did we say? Was it Billie Jean? I think gave you kind of vibes of that track,
Yeah.
and we feel like there's a lot of Michael Jackson references threaded throughout. It's just so clever.
Yeah, it is.
And so artistic. I mean, I thought that about Selfish as well. They're almost
Yeah.
masterpieces.
I
Everything
love
from
it.
his videos to
It's
the
so well thought
albums.
out.
It's isn't it?
and
It's
who was the
just
lady who
creative.
played the angel? She was so good.
Oh, she's one
Yeah.
of the dancers, isn't she? One of his
Yeah.
dancers.
But she just stood out, didn't she? She
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
wow.
And she
Can't
licked his face.
Yeah,
She
that,
did
I
face.
was like,
Until she scratched it.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
You bitch.
Get off him.
Get off him.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
How dare you?
Yeah, it's a good video. And so there's a couple of rumors circulating online that there might be another video coming from Justin for Liar.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
What, the rumor?
The rumor, yeah.
Was that off
Fireboy released a
Fireboy.
clip.
Exactly. And then Justin reposted it, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
he
wasn't
kinda
it all
featured in
written on that piece of paper when from London?
Yeah.
That was one of them, yes.
One of the 6 songs.
Yeah.
And
then
one of the postcards, right?
Yeah, the lyrics
Yeah.
are on the back of one of the
Yeah,
postcards.
Yeah.
Beth knows this conversation. We had it not that long before we started this, where we're like all of the postcards have lyrics from there's 4 postcards as we know, and all of them have lyrics from the song. We've got Selfish there. We've got No Angels there. Liar is there.
Paradise.
And lyrics to Paradise are on the 4th card. Fourth
It's
postcard.
like, woo!
So
Oh
you know, we're ready. We're ready. We're
Mhm.
choo-choo.
Paradise is gonna be the last release of the album.
I do think so.
Yeah.
I think
Which
so.
is going to be
Yeah.
the beginning of the next
Yes.
chapter, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hopefully,
God.
we'll all die.
Please, please, please. I mean, that kind of brings us on, I think, to our last point, to say we are going to have to end the show soon. And that is, since this has happened, the rocket ship emoji has just boomed out of nowhere across social media. Well, actually, it's out of nowhere. They've been using it for a while, but we hadn't really thought much of it, I don't
It's
think.
been a little bit
And
of a
now,
reemergence.
yeah, and it's everywhere. So what are we speculating on that? Because I know we all are. Everyone is speculating as to what that means. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was all
Wild
right when just
speculations.
NSYNC was doing it, but everybody's using it, all the managers and everything. I'm like, whoa, 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 what's going on?
Slow down.
Even Sony are using it, and you're
Yeah.
like, why
Yeah.
are Sony using it? Have they signed a record deal with them? Are they hinting that something's about to take off? You know, lift off for NSYNC?
Yeah,
I
we
I
just
think it's real.
blast
I
off.
think
Yeah,
I think it's real. I think after at some point, I mean, Justin's touring for quite a while, and the other guys have some dates as well. But I think after this, I think it's maybe even between it, there'll be some bigger announcements. I don't know when do you guys think Paradise will become a single? I'm putting that out there in the universe. Paradise will become a single.
Hmm.
When
Well,
do you
you've
guys
got to
think
give
that
it a
would
couple of
be?
months, haven't you?
Yeah.
I
It'll be
do
a
think
summer
it's going to be
song.
May 1st. I
Not
think it's going to be 1st
really.
of May. I think Liar's going to come out in a couple of weeks, and then that will follow,
Probably.
and that will take us towards the 1st of
Oh my
May,
God.
Yeah.
time-wise.
But then there won't be any promotion, will there? Because Justin's touring, so
It'll be interesting to see how they overlay everything because there is a kind of mesh between the two. But I do think that
Takes some
we're going to
organizing,
have
but I'm sure it can be done.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
they only have to turn up. It's the managers and everybody's got to do all the hard
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
That's what Chris was saying at the Pop 2K is that he was saying it's very promising. It's the most promising, it's ever been for sort of this reunion, more things to happen and so on. And the managers are all just kind of talking amongst each other. It's different. And he didn't even bring up the family aspect of just how much they have to manage interpersonally. Before it was just the five of them, same manager, everything. But now there's four different, all these different
Yeah,
managers
and you can't. Yeah, and they're all in
schedules and
contracts, aren't they? So they've got to keep their managers. So they have to work together, don't they? To
yeah. So I think that's just everybody trying to be on the same page, and Chris was saying they're just kind of sitting back and kind of like, okay, yeah. I think he was kind of implying like, tell me where to be.
yeah, you
type
figure
of
it
thing.
out and just put me on a plane.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. But yes, I think launch. I think we're going there. I really feel it.
Yeah.
It's so much different than all the little teasers and tidbits we've had over the years. I think that we're finally there, and I'm so ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We are.
We say we're ready for
Absolutely.
everything. We was ready for the London when it announced. We nearly died. It was like we've known about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we were ready for NSYNC being on stage. Well, no, I never said
Oh,
I was ready for that, to be
no.
honest. But
But
we will be ready.
yeah, we'll be
Will we?
ready, and then they'll say something. We'll just be dead.
We're not ready.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened when we were waiting for Paradise to come out. Is I think we were all saying, "Oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to listen to it. I don't. Now it's here. I can't cope with it. It's
I don't
just too
remember
much."
who it was. Was it you, Diane, or was it Hillary? Was saying, "Why can't I stop listening to it?" Like I had to. I think I don't know if it was you. It's like I had to listen to it again and again and again. It's like I can't stop. I don't want to listen to it. I have to listen to it. I can't stop.
I think up until then, I'd only listened. I was trying to behave and only listen to the snippets the one time so that I could really experience it with the album and so on. But Paradise got a couple extra listens. That snippet.
It just got the one for me. I was being so strict with myself. It just got that one listen to me before I heard it live.
Yeah. With the Rocket guys, so I have this theory, and I don't know if I'm clutching because I probably am because that's what we do, and I don't know. This probably doesn't feel big enough, but I'm going to put this out there and say so. We had Pair of Dice, Paradise, and we have a rocket, which you could rock in Rio. Guys have formed Rock in Rio. Now, Rock in Rio this year is the 13th to the 22nd of September, and Justin has a break currently on his tour then. So I'm putting it out there.
You've come up with this, just putting it
I've
out.
come up with this. So it's me being Delulu, so you can blame me when it's wrong. But I've decided they're playing Rock in Rio. They've got a massive following in Brazil. What a great place to do a kind of full-on show. And by the way, we haven't even spoken about the fact that we wonder whether they might turn up at the Heart Festival on Easter Monday on the 1st of April. So maybe that's an option as well. But that's my decision on the Rocket.
What was the date of that again?
13th to the 22nd of September.
Oh, that's interesting. The
It's got a
Pop
gap.
2K in Paradise is what, September 28th to October 3rd. That's another thing to consider. It's in Mexico.
In Paradise.
In Paradise.
I really fancy that, you know.
Oh no!
But it's so
Wow.
expensive.
I did. I
Oh,
looked at
don't
it, I'm
even
like,
say, don't
oh.
even tempt me that you think they're all going to be there. I'm not missing another one.
Goodness.
I
That's
think it's going
exciting.
to
I
be a
haven't
lot
heard that
sooner
yet.
than that.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know, do we? We're just clutching. But it feels like something's coming
Is there any
imminently.
secrets
Like,
for Glastonbury?
Something's
Imminently, yeah.
definitely coming in May, isn't it? Because for years it's going to be May.
and it has
Come
to
on, they
be.
can't just let that slip by, can they? Especially this year.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yep.
Well, we will see. We'll keep our
I'm
fingers
excited
crossed. I
for
mean,
it all.
yeah, exactly.
We're
And
here
that's the
for
whole
it all.
thing. Exactly.
Whatever they
We're
give
going to
us,
be
we're
there.
here.
Exactly. Every step of the
They
way.
might drop a few hints soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's hard work putting
They've
all
been
this stuff
dropping
together.
hints like
It is, isn't it?
anvils.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder if
And
they'll
I'll-
ever stop and they'll just tell us.
I know.
Like one day
Right.
will they just be upfront with
Just do
us?
a little live video and just say,
Yeah, I
we're going
don't know.
to be here.
This is what I'm saying. They need to stop this shit. They need to just say, this is what we're going to do. So
It's
we can
exhausting.
just get ready
We
for
need to
it.
plan finances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got busy lives. Got jobs to do.
Especially with the time difference not being funny, because we're constantly having to stay awake in case we miss something. So
Yeah.
if they can at least tell us
Yeah.
Yeah.
and make sure, like, whatever it is, they communicate it at a time that works for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. We'll keep it quiet for a few hours.
Yeah. Guys, guess what?
What?
We've run out of time.
Oh.
I know. Sorry.
I was going to say something good.
No, it's bad news, I'm afraid. We have run out of time.
Our
This has been...
chats, when they start with guys, we know there's news.
There's something
Guys. There's news
Guys.
and we all get excited.
I'll be like, guys,
Guys.
You put it there to get everyone's attention because you know you then got to
Yeah.
take some time to type. So you're like, guys, and everyone's like, what? And
Yeah,
then the
everyone
eye
jumps on,
emojis comes on.
drops
What?
everything, runs to the phone. So yeah, so you got me
But I
excited.
I think that guys, if it's something good, and dude, if it's something bad, dude.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. Dude, you're not going to believe this shit.
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up. No.
Yeah.
You can't. Well, in that case, dudes. I'm afraid it doesn't say right that I say dudes. Girls. Dudes.
Oh, dude.
Guys.
Dude.
Cowboys.
Oh my gosh, cowgirls.
Cowgirls.
It's it's time to wrap up. We've had so much to talk about. I think when we planned this podcast, we thought it was going to all be about just LA, which obviously has been the majority, but there's still so much going on. And how exciting though. I think, Diane, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
It's been a
having
blast
me.
to have
It's been so
you.
much fun.
It's been so nice to have someone else join us, so thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to get that other perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And thank you, girls. And obviously everyone listening, don't forget, make sure you search us out on Twitter or X, and TikTok and Instagram. Just search the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys and you will find us. And if you're listening to us now, I'm hoping it means you've enjoyed the show because you've stuck with us. So if that's the case, maybe just give us a little rating and a little review on whichever podcast platform you are listening to this on. It's much appreciated. It makes us know that you like it and want to hear more. But otherwise, I guess that's it for today. We will no doubt be back very soon because hopefully there's imminent announcements about to come up.
We're going to be on every day.
And we'll be on every day saying, oh my gosh, they've tweeted again or Instagram posted again. But enjoy seeing what comes next, and we will speak to you very soon. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to the InSync UK Space Cowboys podcast. If you loved this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you'll never miss a moment of the action. And did you know you can also stream every episode the second it drops on your favourite music or podcast platform? It's that easy to stay in sync with us. And while you're at it, check out our Instagram page for all the latest InSync news, reaction, and announcements of upcoming episodes. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.